Hafiz TV, unique every day.
Good morning to you, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is a great honor to welcome you officially to the maiden edition of the Ghana Muslim Entrepreneurs and Business Summit 2025. This is an event that is designed to inspire innovation and also promote entrepreneurship. Most importantly, also strengthen the socio-economic foundation of our society. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thank you for joining us here. For the first time, we've made history, bringing together industry leaders, leading entrepreneurs, and most importantly, people who are here to be innovators and also to develop our society. So as we begin with the maiden edition, I would like to urge all of you to have a mind open to new ideas, a heart open to collaboration, and also open a path where Muslim entrepreneurs become innovators and also builders of our society. Once again, welcome to the maiden edition of the Ghana Muslim Entrepreneurs and Business Summit. My name is Leila Shari, your MC, and I'll be doing this with Shamun Bako.
All right. In other words, what she's saying is that today we're going to be taught how to fish, not to be given the fish. And that's exactly why we're here together, so that we can move our nation forward and the Muslim community can also integrate and be able to perform even better. To commence the event, we have to usher the name of the Almighty Allah in everything that we do. But before we do that, let's do a Quranic recitation. And we will call upon Our Lady Nadra Abdullahi Lari for the Quran recitation. Please put your hands together for her.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك وبالآخرة هم يوقنون أولئك على هدى من ربهم وأولئك هم المفلحون إن الذين كفروا سواء عليهم أأنذرتهم أم لم تنذرهم لا يؤمنون ختم الله على قلوبهم وعلى سمعهم وعلى أبصارهم غشاوة ولهم عذاب عظيم ومن الناس من يقول آمنا بالله وباليوم الآخر وما هم بمؤمنين يخادعون الله والذين آمنوا وما يخدعون إلا أنفسهم وما كانوا يشعرون صدق الله العظيم.
At-Takbir. At-Takbir. Thank you, Our Lady Nadra, for such a beautiful, melodious voice reciting the Holy Quran. Thank you so much. At this juncture, I think it's proper that we do the opening prayer. And seated, representing the National Chief Imam, Sheikh Muaz Mukhtar Abbas, with all humility, will step down to offer the prayer. Please put your hands together for him.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Actually, I'm not here to represent His Eminence, the National Chief Imam, as His Eminence cannot be represented in any summit or forum. It's very clear that I'm not up to that position. Instead, he asked me to come and convey a message to the organizers of this summit as to the reason why he is not present here. He said I should tell the organizers that he so much would have loved to be part of this program had it not been for a program that he slated the date at the Central Region. As I'm talking to you now, he is on his way to the Central Region for that program. We pray that Allah takes him and bring him back home safely. Before leaving home, he called me and instilled a special prayer in my tongue. And he said, if I should come to this program and it happened that I'm called to stand on his behalf and say the opening prayer, I shouldn't say anything beyond what he instilled to my tongue. So before I lose that from my tongue, I would like us to sit attentively and receive the prayer. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Ar-Rahmanir Rahim, Maliki Yawmiddin, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in, اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين يا ربنا يا خالق العوالم هل بيننا وبين كل ظالم يا ربنا أنت ترى ما قد جرى فاقسم بقهر من علينا جسرا يا ربنا عجل لنا بالفرج ونجنا من داعة وهرج يا ربنا عجل لنا بالفرج ونجنا من داعة وهرج يا ربنا عجل لنا بالفرج ونجنا من داعة وهرج وامدد علينا من هماك لأمن إسرارك من حل فيها يمنى بسر لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون والله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله أما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم آمين سبحان ربك رب العزة أما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. Thank you very much.
All right, Godiya muke Sheikh Muaz for such a powerful prayer. I think it's proper that we commence with the event. But before we do that, we have to introduce to you the chairperson for the occasion. Ya kamata mu gabatar muku da maga kujeran wannan zama wanda zai tafiyar da zaman daga farko har ƙarshe. At this juncture, I would like to call upon my colleague, Layla, to come forward and introduce us the chairperson for the occasion before we do start. Layla, please do come. Please put your hands together for her.
All right, thank you so much. And to introduce the chairman, I would like to invite Dr. Azindo, if he's in our midst. Or Mr. Majid, if you are here with us, please help us with the introduction of our chairperson for this morning. Shall we give him a round of applause? Please, you can do better. Let's welcome him.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. I'm ambushed to introduce my own leader. As we all know, when we are about to travel, either by air or by road, after passengers are seated, if it's by air, we need a pilot to fly us. If it's by road, we need a driver to drive us. And for a successful journey, it is incumbent on all passengers to give the pilot or the driver cooperation and peace of mind. for a successful journey. In like manner, as we are seated here, we need somebody to steer the affairs of this program. And none other was fished out other than the Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Ghana. Even though he is a religious person, he is a man of many colors. He serves Ghana in many other facets. For example, he's a member of the Ghana Peace Council, and in matters of peace, they are the people who drive out to have peace at the background of many things. So we could not have had any efficient or better chairman than the Amir and missionary in charge Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Ghana, Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh. Amir Said, your audience, your chairman, Amir Said, exactly.
Thank you, Alhaji Majid, for that introduction. And now we'll take our chairman's remarks and His Excellency the Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Ghana, Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh. Mr. Chairman, your audience, your chairman.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Your Excellency, my brother, the Ambassador of Egypt to Ghana, my brethren, chiefs, and traditional leaders who are here with us, the ulama among us, academia, my sisters, business entrepreneurs, and all who have found themselves here in this hall today. I extend to all of you the Islamic salutation of Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. To start with all the humility that I can command, I humbly accept the honor done me to be the chairman for such an august gathering. And that, like as I said, I do so with all the humility that I can command, with the hope that all brethren will cooperate fully with me, would listen attentively to the speeches that will be delivered, would ask appropriate questions when it is time for us to ask the questions, would try to gather as much information as possible so that by the time we leave here, we are fortified sufficiently enough to meet the purpose for which we have gathered here. But most importantly is discipline. Discipline is the catchword, and we need it for a successful gathering of this nature. All brethren, therefore, are entreated to cooperate with us fully, so that at the end of this function, each and every one of us will have a reason why he or she should say, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. With this, I thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh, he is the Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission in Ghana. Ladies and gentlemen, this event wouldn't have been possible without the help of some organizations, and I would like to acknowledge the Bank of Ghana, GIPC, Ghana Investment Promotion Center. We also have Blue Skies, Trillium Ghana, Verna, Alcil Service Limited, we have Afro Arab, Amin, and Student Investment Account, ZP Zonal Pharma Limited. We also have Razor Catering. We also have SML Life is Tech, the Northern Bazaar, and Kenzie Fashion Institute, not forgetting Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission. Also, our media partners is Pan-African Television, Hafiz TV. We also have GBC, Al-Nur, Baraka FM, Ikra Radio, Alpha 104.9 FM, Marhaba Media Limited. We also have Zongo TV as well. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for our partners.
All right, moving forward. At this moment, we'll do the welcome address, and to do us the honor is Mudassir Idris Abdul Momin, Director of Programs and Administration, IPP, Ghana. Please put your hands together for him. While we do that, I've been notified that we should be doing a summary in the Hausa language so that we would allow for our audience who are watching us live and whatever they find themselves to also follow through. And also from here, we'll also be able to break it down for all of us. Thank you.
Distinguished guests, our eminent chairman, Mawvi Mohammed bin Saleh, the keynote speaker, our speakers, respected Islamic scholars, esteemed Muslim business leaders, entrepreneurs, sponsors, and partners, members from the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen, permit me to say a greetings to you in Islam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's given me an honor and a profound gratitude to welcome you all to the maiden edition of the Ghana Muslim Entrepreneurs and Business Summit. As Muslims, today marks an important gathering of visionaries, business leaders, innovators, aspiring entrepreneurs within our Muslim communities who are united by a common goal to harness business opportunities, strengthen network, contribute meaningfully to the socio-economic development of Ghana. Over the years, Muslim entrepreneurs in Ghana have been contributing quietly yet effectively in sectors such as commerce, real estate, pharmaceuticals, agriculture, finance, creative art, and many more. But despite this remarkable contribution, one thing has remained clear. Our growing business community have been without a platform that serves as a fulcrum for networking, collaboration, and knowledge sharing. Today, with this maiden edition, we begin the journey to change that narrative. This event is not merely a gathering, it is a declaration of intent, an intent to empower the Muslim business community, an intent to build stronger network, an intent to inspire the generation of Muslim leaders, an intent to place Muslim-owned businesses as essential players in Ghana's socio-economic development, and most importantly, an intent to promote ethical and socially responsible businesses that align with the timeless values of Islam. The theme for this maiden summit, engagement for purpose, to empower Muslim business and entrepreneur, could not have been more appropriate. This is because we live in an era where entrepreneurship is no longer optional. It is the engine that drives innovation, reduces unemployment, creates wealth, and also strengthens communities. As Muslims, it is imperative for us to be guided by the principles of integrity, justice, fairness, and service to humanity. When these principles are shaped, when these principles shape our entrepreneurial ventures, the results are enterprises that do not only pursue profit, but reduces unemployment and uplift our social and economic standard. As mentioned earlier, this summit aimed to bring together a rich diversity of participants, seasoned entrepreneurs with decades of experience, young startups seeking direction, corporate leaders offering expertise, and development partners who are ready to collaborate. Today in this room, we have the potential to shape the future of our business that will stand the test of time. We have the potential to unlock ideas that will birth innovation hubs, new industry, and job opportunities for the Muslim youth in our communities. We also have the potential to build bridges across sectors and across regions, ensuring that the Muslim business community is recognized as a formidable contributor to Ghana's socio-economic development. Ladies and gentlemen, As we engage in our today's conversation and networking opportunities, let us remember that entrepreneurship in Islam is both a means of livelihood and an act of worship, because Islam encourages us to trade, values innovation, and honor hard work. Our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was himself a merchant, known for honesty, excellence, and trust. The principles he embodied remain relevant in today's business world, and as Muslims, we should be the first in line to demonstrate this trait in our various business endeavors. We must therefore commit ourselves to building businesses that reflect these values, businesses that do not exploit but empower, businesses that do not inflate prices unfairly but trade with transparency, businesses that do not cut corners but hold integrity as their foundation. When we conduct our affairs with excellence, Allah will place barakah or blessings in everything that we do. As Muslim entrepreneurs and business leaders, this summit also gives us the opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to supporting one another, identifying ourselves, get to know what each and every business person does and offers, and learning to trade among ourselves. The Muslim business ecosystem can only thrive when we invest in ourselves, promote each other's products and services, mentor the youth, and create partnerships that are mutually beneficial. Collaboration is the new currency of global business game, and as Muslims, we must not be left behind. The time is now. As we network and engage in insightful discussion, explore innovative solutions, and establish vital partnerships, let us remember the importance of unity and inclusivity. The challenges that confront entrepreneurs and business leaders in Ghana, ranging from access to loan and venture capital, demand collective strategies and shared commitment to overcome. Thanks to Bank of Ghana, especially the Governor, Dr. Johnson Pandit Esiama, for spearheading the introduction of a comprehensive framework for non-interest banking and finance, a framework that will regulate not only banking, but also capital markets like the Sukuk, which is like Islamic bonds, and insurance called the Takafu. All these banking and financial policies are expected to bring relief and improve businesses' operation within the Muslim communities, as it possesses all the financial elements that fall within the purview of acceptable Islamic business financing and operation. Furthermore, I encourage each participant to maximize this opportunity, build network, take home actionable ideas that will transform your enterprises. Let this summit inspire a new wave of business entrepreneurs who will leave a legacy of resilience, innovation, and prosperity. On behalf of the Institute for Peace and Progress, I once again welcome you warmly to this summit and wish you fruitful deliberation and successful engagement. May Allah bless this summit and grant us the wisdom to make a lasting impact in Ghana's business community. Thank you very much.
A round of applause once again. Thank you so much to Mudassir Idris Abdul Mumin. He is the Director of Programs and Admin at IPP Ghana. Again, let's say a very big thank you to our partners. We have the Bank of Ghana, we have Ghana Investment Promotion Center, NDA. We also have Zongo Development Fund. Thank you so much. A round of applause for these partners. Without them, this event wouldn't have been a possibility. Also, we have Blue Skies, Twelium Ghana. People, please keep clapping for our partners. Thank you so much. And then we have Verna, our Sales Services Limited, Afro Arab. We have Amin. We also have SIC. Initially, I mentioned Student Investment Account, but I think that is one of their programs. SIC, thank you so much. Zonal Pharma Limited, Razor Catering. We have SML Limited, Life is Tech, and Life is Tech Africa, the Northern Bazaar. We have Kenzie Fashion Institute and Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission Media Partners. We also have Pan-African Television, Hafiz TV, GBC, Al Nur Baraka FM. We have Ikra Radio, Alpha Radio, Marhaba Media, Zango TV, and VibeTown Media. You are also reminded that we are live on social media on VibeTown Media, so you can go stream, share with your friends who are not present here. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we have some key figures in our midst whose presence here add immense value to today's occasion. And so I'd like to invite my co-MC, to help us with the introduction and acknowledgement of our dignitaries. Now, first we have Alhaji Yiadom Boakye Kanto, the Asante Apa Ankobia Hene. He is the first presentation. He will be doing our presentation subsequently. He is our Sales Services Limited, Nana Alhaji Yiadom Boakye Kanto. A round of applause. Thank you so much for joining us here this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, we also have in our midst the CEO. He's actually the CEO of ALSIL. A round of applause for him. We also have the CEO of the Green Shield Limited, Alhaji Abdul Razak Khailan. A round of applause for him. Okay, so I think he's not in our midst now. He'll be joining us soon. We also have Honorable Abdul Razak Baba, who is a Deputy CEO of GIPC. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. Thank you so much for joining us here. And I think I'll do the final one and pass over the microphone to my co-MC. We also have Mr. Zakaria Mumuni, who is the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana. A round of applause. And we also have His Excellency Wael Fathi, who is the Ambassador of Egypt to Ghana. Thank you so much, Your Excellency, for joining us this morning. And I'll hand over to you now.
We also have in our midst Mustafa Abubakar Batlemi, otherwise known as Mustafa Maslow, Deputy CEO, Tema Oil Refinery. He's here with us. Please put your hands together for him. And then representing the Hausa kinship in the Greater Accra region, we have Osman Abdullahi Harun, matawallan birnin Accra da kewaye. Muna da Murtala Alhassan Falaken Ankara. Muna da Galadima Alhaji Mubarak Shado. Muna da Chief and leader of the Ewe Muslim community voter, Togbe Ahmed Abbas. And then we also have Audu Bashir, Zongo Youth for Discipline spokesperson, is also here with us. I want to say thank you, I appreciate you. We have in our midst also from the Ayawaso Council of Zongo Chiefs, Sarki Nuhu Agali, Sarkin Tamashak. Da an fi sanin su da buzu, wayanzu sun gyara sunan wai tamashak ne, ba buza ya bane, wai buzun nan zagi ne, wayanzu sun gyara sun ce tamashak. Muna tare da Chief Abdulmumin Sarkin Zabarmawa, shi kuma yana nan tare da mu, mun gode. Muna tare da Sarki Mustapha Obungumbungu, sunan sai ka ci banku in ba haka ba baka iyawa. Akwai kuma Chief Zakariya Brema Sarkin Yarbawa, KBAC aikin. Akwai kuma Sarki Usman Sarkin Wangarawa, dukkaninku muna muku godiya, Allah ya saka da khairi. Muna da Zalia Qasim, a very well-known activist, and she's the PRO of the House of Youth Ghana. She's also here seated with us. I've seen Bushra Yamdao Abbas, a very known agri-business lady, I mean, going all over the place with agriculture, is also here. I'm sure she's going to be sharing her thought on agri-business. She's done nothing with agri, but now she's feeding on agri. She's here with us. Can you rise up? Let's see you. Please put your hands together for her. And we have in our midst Irbad Ibrahim, a very known figure in the Zongo community, doing incredible things, security, merchandise business, and everything else he does. He's living in the posh areas of Accra currently. Please put your hands together for Irbad Ibrahim. Yeah. And then we also have the Imam of the Ghana Immigration Service, Imam Hafiz. Please, can you rise and let's see you. Please put your hands together for him. We have Kushtin, Youth Ambassador. He's all over the place fighting against drug addiction and all of that, and we are happy that he's still with us, always wearing a particular color. Rise up so that we see the color you're wearing. Please put your hands together for him. A couple of few I will mention, but in the meantime, because we have a lot more to do, today we'll break it down. We will ask the relevant question. We want our businesses to grow, and that's what we want to see all of us partaking and participating in this summit, so that at the end of the day, just as the chairperson mentioned, we're going to have a successful program. Please put your hands together for yourself once again. Thank you.
So we'll quickly jump on our first item for the day. We're getting into the program proper. I would like to invite our first speaker. Our first presentation will be coming from the CEO of the Alsil Services Limited, Nana Alhaji Yadom Boache Kanto, who is the Asante Apa Ankobia Hene. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause.
Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Amma ba'du fa'auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Iza ja nasrullahi wal fathu wa ra'aita an-nasa yadkhuluna fi dinillahi afwaja fasabbih bihamdi rabbika wastaghfirhu innahu kana tawwaba. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Nana Yadom Boache Kanto without a Al-Hajj. But because in Ghana, every Muslim is Al-Hajj, I'll still take it like that. Maybe, inshallah, very soon it will be official. I'm here to make a presentation on starting and growing a formidable business with Islamic values. The Amir, Chairman, Your Excellency, the Egyptian Ambassador, representative from the Bank of Ghana, my own brother, Ismail Adam, invited guests, very, very special invited guests over here. Ladies and gentlemen, the entire Muslim business community, the chiefs seated, and all other people seated here. You know, the cliche is that when somebody is given the opportunity to speak, usually it looks as if they all say that they are very honored and privileged to do that. But I must tell you that over here as I stand, it's not a cliche. I am truly humbled and honored to be given the opportunity to make this presentation. I'll say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah ta'ala wa barakatuh to all of you. So I'll say yes, it's an honor and privilege to address this August gathering of Muslim entrepreneurs and business leaders. We as Muslims represent a significant force in Ghana's development. The strength, the energy, and the potential of this nation lies with us partly. For this reason, a positive shift in our collective mindset is not only necessary for personal advancement, but vital for national progress. You know, everything a person does or achieves begins with the mind. When the mind is focused and purposeful, one's actions reflect that discipline of being focused and purposeful. However, if the mind is distracted, lazy, or uncertain, then the result too will reflect same. A disorganized and unproductive situation may occur. A human being is composed of body, soul, and spirit. According to the Holy Quran, the ultimate purpose for man's creation, or for Allah creating man, is to worship Him. And as indicated in Surah Az-Zariyat, Quran chapter 51, verse 56, it says, "And I have not created the jinn and mankind except that they should worship me." But while spiritual devotion is our divine purpose, the body also needs to be nourished to serve as a vessel to fulfill this sacred duty of worshiping Allah. In this way, economic activities and entrepreneurship are not separate from worship, they complement it. To thrive spiritually, we must also strive socially and economically. Earning a halal livelihood, providing for our families, serving the community, and contributing to national development are all acts of worship when done with sincere intentions. Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, the Oxford Dictionary defines business as a person's regular occupation, profession, or trade. It can also be described as an organization or enterprising entity engaged in commercial, industrial, or professional activity. These may be profit-making or non-profit in nature. Business has many structures. It takes many forms, some of which are sole proprietorship, limited liability, partnership, and corporations. Each of these structures have unique characteristics, but all of these structures can be a vehicle or vessel for us Muslims and Muslim entrepreneurs to contribute to community development if operated within ethical and halal framework. The question is business encouraged in Islam? And the answer is
need to do to project themselves and then, put them up there, put them at scale with other big businesses as well. And being one of the team leads or members of that organizes these events, sometimes it's quite a bit demoralizing, if I'll put it, that we don't get to see a lot more of our Muslim businesses coming on board to participate in these forums and events. And you see how our other colleagues are eager to put themselves out there, whether their businesses are too small, too big, whatever it is, they are looking to, learn, try and find ways of, putting themselves on the map. And I feel that in our space as Muslims, there's a lot more that we have that when we decide to put ourselves out there, we'll make it like this instant. But unfortunately, either we don't explore, try and find out where these opportunities are, or we don't really show interest in doing these things. Recently, we had this roadshow in Japan. I think we had GEPA bringing together businesses. And some of the businesses, the only one business I could immediately identify and I resonated more with instantly was Mason Yusuf, the guy that does the perfumery. He was not there in person, but then his product was there on the shelf. We had the Chinese businesses coming around, and you could see that his stand was filled with a lot of people because they needed, they saw a product that was there that they needed to, easily, want to partner or see what the business was like. And I felt that if just one person from our community has been able to drive these people to come on their stand, even if when he was not there, he had a rep there, but then you could see people trooping into his stand, trying to ask questions. And I'm like, if you had about 3 or 4 businesses within our same community, then I don't know what we would have done, because maybe by now we would have been building empires, employing a lot more people within our own space. So what I'm here to say is that we need to collaborate more. We need to find ways of, identifying the opportunities that we have and then tap into it. There's nothing wrong. You always have to, whenever you hear the opportunity, just walk into the office, ask what you can do, what the center can do, what the organization can do for you. For GIPC, we have done a number of events. I think in previous years, we organized something called the Taste of Ghana, where I pushed some of our Muslim women to come and exhibit their products. And I was happy that a number of them came on board. Right now, we are also running something that we call the Investment Opportunity Mapping Project. Basically, this project is to identify investment opportunities, whether small or big. All we are trying to do is that we want to package these business opportunities into a handbook. We've had a lot of inquiries from investors that are looking to partner either find somebody that is into their space, that they could say that, okay, we can easily matchmake them and say, this person is into your space, you can come and speak to them and see what opportunities there are available. I know within our Muslim community, we have a lot of these businesses available, but do we have the data personally within our space? We don't. So we are asking that reach out to us, come to the center. In fact, try and, always be looking out for where the opportunities are. That is where your starting point would be. There's a lot we could do. When we go to our market spaces, in fact, when somebody asks me where is Nima, I say there's no Nima, we have an ECOWAS market. Because we have a lot of countries that are within that space that are trading. And we know how to trade. And I quite remember when our first speaker was saying, it is within our history as Muslims. That is what we started. Trading is in our space, and I think we need to own that space and then push it so that wherever we find ourselves, we know that everyone or anyone within that space can easily identify that, yes, this is a Muslim, they are trustworthy, they know what they are doing, and you can deal with them and be safe doing that business with it. This is my small message. I couldn't read my boss's message because he hasn't approved it. So this is coming from me personally to you all, that let's collaborate, let's see what the opportunities are, and let's work together. We are united. Let's be united and then push the agenda forward so that we can all succeed together. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Once again for Hajia Zainab Isa, please put your hands together for her. She's actually one of our own, and this is where she's gotten to. So it's always good that you have one of you to also help or contribute their quota towards the sustenance of the Zongo and Muslim community. So at this moment, we'll do a breather. We have one of our youngest and uprising superstar when it comes to the spoken word or poetry, I should say. She's in the person of Noura, the linguist. She's coming to give us a very incredible performance. Please put your hands together for her.
Assalamu alaikum. My name is Noura Mohammed, known as Noura the linguist. As we are here to celebrate business, we should also remember that we are Muslims and we need to bring Allah in everything we do. They told us to keep business and faith in separate rooms. Like sugar and salt in different jars, they said, pray with one heart and trade with the other. As if our souls could be split into two, like atom. But I remember when our caravan used to move to the rhythm of the azan, when the leisure and the prayer mat was woven from the same fabric, when the handshake was a covenant witnessed by the most merciful, Bismillah was the first words on their lips before the first coin was ever counted. So when you walk into that boardroom, don't you dare leave your soul at the door. Carry it with you, a lantern in the dark. Let your prophets be your jihad. Let your sujood be a gratitude. Now, let your business plan be your striving. You are striving not just for wealth, but you are building a legacy. A legacy that builds not just skyscrapers that scratches the heavens, but communities that embody heaven within them. I see you. The one balancing the spreadsheet and the salah timer. I see you. The one whose dreams is fueled by dua and data. They call you entrepreneur, but I call you inheritor, the inheritor of a golden chain, a chain of merchants and mathematicians, of scholars and scientists who knew that the ultimate startup was civilization and its most valuable asset is Iman. We are not just building businesses. We are building ecosystems of empowerment. We are the new caravan, trading not just in goods but in good, profiting not just in capital but in character. We are the entrepreneurs of Iman, the CEOs of compassion, the investors in our collective destiny. So rise, let them see your light, Nur, me, in your spreadsheet. Let them hear the echo of Iqra in your innovation. They told us to choose between the mosque and the marketplace, but our ancestors whispered, why not both? The same hands that built the great mosque of Larabanga can build empires that stand for centuries. The same mind that gave the world algebra can create new pathways to prosperity. So when you draft your business plan, write it with the ink of integrity. When you negotiate contracts, let your words be weighed on the scale of justice. Let your brand be synonymous to blessings, and let your success be measured not just in millions, but in lives you elevate, in communities you nourish, the doors of risk you open for others. We are the generation that can prove that the most valuable currency isn't in banks, but in the good we circulate between each other. That the richest portfolio isn't stocks and bonds, but the good deeds that compound eternally. So go ahead, build your empire, but build it with bricks of faith. Mortar it with mercy, roof it with responsibility. Let your business be a beacon that guides lost sheep to the share of sustenance. Because we are not just business people. We are light bearers, noors of Ummah's economy, architects of our legacy where wealth and worship walk hand in hand. We are entrepreneurs of eternity, trading in time for timeless rewards, building today that will echo till eternity. And that is the business model approved by the heavens. Amen.
Can I hear a resounding applause for her? So Nura Muhammad is a poet. Now we jump on our next presentation, but then I hope that we are all taking note. Very soon we are going to change the face of the program, and I'm sure that you have lingering questions that you want to ask our industry leaders here, because they have been doing all the talking. So if you have any questions, make sure that you're writing them down, because we'll be taking questions. But before then, we'll jump on our next presentation from the CEO of the Green Shield Limited, Alhaji Abdul Razak Hailan. A round of applause for him.
Thank you, Madam MC, for that brilliant presentation. Mr. Chairman, distinguished panelists, members of the Diplomatic Corps, our revered chiefs and ulumas. Like you know, my name is always Alhaji Abdul Razak Hailan. I really want to thank organizers of this function for that brilliant thoughtfulness. When I look at the panelists, I believe you couldn't have get it better than what you have here. Because I went a bit into their profiling and I realized that they are people of substance who are going to have very wonderful conversations with us. Let me commend that lady poet with that brilliant presentation, a bit of business with religiosity attached to it. It's so beautiful. The Lexus is great. Like I told you, the panelists, particularly the chairman of this function, I have an occasion to, I think 2 occasions, which were really master stroke. I mean, his disposition. This man, you know, he's the head of the Ahmadiyya movement. They normally would do this annual, convention at the general area of the North Legon when you're moving towards Agbogba or a little beyond it. At one of their conversations there, they had a very wonderful and a brilliant MC who was so much in charge of the issue. At a particular point, he needed to introduce the guest of honor, who incidentally happened to be our Vice President, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Like I said, the MC was extremely fantastic. At the tail end of his introduction, when he needed to invite the guest of honor, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to deliver, then one politician quickly came and took the microphone from the MC. I said, oh no, you didn't do a good job of it. You should have added that. The man is the incoming president of the Republic of Ghana. Mr. Chairman, you did a very brilliant work of that. I believe you recall all that. You might have forgotten. Mr. Chairman just sprouted off his seat as though he was sitting on a spring. Then he took the mic and had the gusto to rubbish that political hogwash which that politician did. And I said, yes, this man is a very fantastic personality and a very proud Muslim. Let's give him a round of applause. Then my second encounter with him, no, I haven't, have met him this way, have conversation, eyeballs to eyeballs before. My next encounter with him was at the Ghana Armed Forces General Headquarters, particularly at the office of the Chief of Defense Staff, who was my very good friend, General Opompipra. I was sitting at a reception, waiting to enter to see my friend, the CDS. Then Mr. Chairman walked in there. Normally, I was in my normal, traditional apparel. Then he did that. Salamu alaikum. And I said, wa alaikum salam. Then he recognized the guys at the reception. Then the guys at the reception, Alaji, who is that man? And I said, oh, he is the head of the Ahmadiyya movement. Oh, he must be a good man. So he's definitely a very good man. At least having experienced my issue with him regarding the conversion that he had. I said, oh, he's a very good man. And he said, oh, as for you Muslims, you really, I said, no, it's part of our religious, injunctions. You don't talk down on people. You don't look at people as low-lifers. The Quran and the Hadith admonishes us that every person you see, give him the right recognition. Don't look down upon him. That is, so the man is a very good Muslim. He said, oh, Alaji, we know. So, Mr. Chairman, you made me proud that day. Seriously. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking. I see this man in the mode of my very, very good friend and a big mentor, Sheikh Yahya Al-Amin. If you're close to Sheikh Yahya Al-Amin, your life can only be better. These are people who will look you straight in the face when you mess up, and they will tell you. So these people are people we should be looking out to as our flag bearers. If you want to talk about social, religious, engagement and interactions. So, Mr. Chairman, you are a very good flag bearer to the Muslim community. My gentleman who invited me, who gave me this appointment, were telling me, Alaji, you need to write something. We need to get a script from you. I said, I don't know how to write. At my age, I don't have that mental energy. But I can talk. And I will talk till the cows come home. But I'm not going to do that here because we're working within the constraint of time. Let me tell you how honored I am to be here having this conversation with you. It's not too easy to get self-recognition. I am fantastically honored. So I was looking at the platform, the panelists, and I didn't see that gender balance. Seriously. I'm going to take the organizers on me. I'm a very spot-on person. I'm going to take them on. That next time, we need to ensure gender balance. Our women are fantastic. Seriously. Women are extremely fantastic. Hey, thank you for clapping. They are, as a matter of fact, they are pretty fantastic. They are compassionate. They are very good. They are very relatable. They take good care of us. God has given them all the beautiful, whatever you can think of in your life. And if God blesses you with a wife who is a bit above average, then you are home and dry. I do that because I was born by a very fantastic woman. A beautiful, light-skinned Ewe woman from the Volta region. She gave birth to me and took a very, very good care of me. Because I lost my father at a very tender age. This woman was just there. She was extremely there for me. And whatever I have in life, I owe it to her. I always pray that Almighty Allah bless her in their grave and put her to the Jannah to Firdaus. But you see, if you press the wrong button, they can be very wicked. Why should you press the wrong button then? The woman has given you all the treat of your life. What should take your finger to press the wrong button? So be very careful, you the men here. The way you treat your wives. I'm not that overly fantastic as a husband. Once in a while I'll cross the path, but I have the strength to say, Madam, I'm sorry, be careful. 3 minutes. Sure. The man is telling me 3 minutes. You see, what I've found, the lacuna I see in our Muslim community is leadership. For a long time, we don't get our leadership issues right. I have been so much involved with national chief imams, issues from way back in time, At a point, I can say without any fear that the office was like a stinking stable. We did the best. There was one Dr. Gomda at Legon, Justice Tanko, Karim Daniel, a lot of such wonderful people with a huge commitment. But the stable was so stinking. And we had terrible people in that stable. Anyway, it's a bit manageable now, the like of Abdul Latif, who chaperones the old man here and there. He's doing quite well, At least he makes the old man stable and all the beautiful whatever is coming on to him, But there was opportunity we missed as Muslims in this country. The emergence of COMOG. COMOG was like a total umbrella group to regulate the Muslim community. But you see, they have an egoistical problems. The COMOG leadership and the office of the National Imam, there was such egoistical thing. Meanwhile, Chief Imam, I don't know whether he still is, he was the total whatever of the COMOG community. When they have issue, they meet, they come out with their own presentations. Masa, they go and tag 4 or 5 sheet paper later and present it to the woman. Which university the woman go? Then the very people you are having issue with, they will take the letter, read it, and God knows what they will tell the old man. So there's no forward movement. The organizers of this function, basically, the fundamental issue you have now is that you are dealing with the Muslim community. So you need to factor these kind of things into your whatever. So that we need to get the fundamental business of the leadership issue properly secured. Then we can move on to whatever we want to go to. So that is the problem of the issue. I am not a politician. That is the last thing I would wish to be in my life. Mustafa, I'm sorry. But I'm a very politically responsible somebody. I pride myself in telling the bad politicians from the good one. So that when I have my issues, I will know how to handle it. This is what, as a citizen, at least we need to be doing. Develop the capacity to tell a bad politician from a good one. All these things that we have in here, the philosophy behind all this thing is contingent on politics. Mr. Chairman, am I making sense? Yes, it does. Yeah. It's contingent on politics. So involve yourself in politics. We get the wrong people. Look, even in our Muslim communities, when you have people like Chairman Yahya Al-Amin and his likes, we're looking for people who can't even hold a candle. Want to compare it to them. People who can't even hold a candle. And even their understanding of Islam is mechanical. Meanwhile, Islam is an intellectual enterprise. So you need to identify the right people who have what it takes to tell you what Islam is really about. We are looking at the wrong direction most of the time. You know. Let's be very conscious. Let's be very, very steadfast in identifying the people we can deal with on business of religiosity. It's very, very important. Right? Master, you don't give me some 2 more minutes. I have to leave my house. Thank you. Alhamdulillah, we have a government today who is giving Islam the right recognition. Look at our boys and girls in the scheme of affairs in this country. Have we ever had it that way? Mr. Chairman, have we ever had it that way? I don't mean to commit you. I just want to know whether I'm making sense to you. Thank you very much. You are a very good man. To have this holiday, additional holiday for Eid al-Adha. Imagine you slaughter your big cow. They say, take 1 day and deal with the business of the cow. Is it possible? It's not. And besides, we had a problem particularly with the Eid Fitr. That lacuna, or you know, that kind of thing. We need to understand that if you get somebody who recognizes you, you don't only just recognize, you pray for him. You pray for him. And he reduced the Hajj fare. Can you imagine? Hajj fare has been a business enterprise for some of the people. But he reduced it. And he stood up for our girls who have been prevented from adorning the hijab. Asante people say, we are opening. You know? And you see, as for our political terrain, it's not the best. You can have people with all sorts of letters by their names. Professor this, Professor that. But when you talk, you feel like throwing it out. And what that tells me is that intellectualism is not synonymous with wisdom. We see it everywhere. Even within our Muslim community. There are some clergies, like I said earlier, they are just mechanical in their handle of the Islam. Talk about kabarinka. Malaiku, wanda kirai, da wani kuliki, su 70,000 za su kare. This defies intelligence. God is not that wicked, though He's going to handle you, the one Akiri will handle you in the way you conducted yourself. But that kuliki 70,000, think about it, it's not really settling well with me. So when they talk to you like that, tell them to come again, all right? So that you can get everything. Yeah, I'm talking on the political something. Particularly this business of galamsey. Me, I can't eat any food from those areas. So if you orange, I don't buy. I don't buy. I can't. It's very serious. I've stopped eating kontomiri. Unless the one I can get from Koforidua, my base, or somewhere in the non-galamsey areas. The ecological genocide which is going on in that space is very, very frightening. Seriously, extremely frightening. At times when I see the optics, I just fall into some funny, situation. Thank you. I'll stop. So, this is a situation where you get a politician on the political campaign trail. Galamsey yenja yene, yenja yochina. Why? So you are telling the people the water that they are drinking, you're going to put a lot more poison in it. Hey, we should be looking at the people we vote for. This man is coming again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time.
We all know that Father Alhaji Khailani, it's like someone who has gotten whatever he wants in life and is enjoying the moment. And that's the kind of life our father is living. He's enjoying the moment, doesn't care about time. He's just enjoying life gracefully. I want to say thank you. I appreciate you.
So you realize that Alhaji mentioned that he doesn't do politics. And then he went on to say that we now have a government who cares about Muslims. Anyway, thank you so much. A round of applause for him. Now, this is just to let you know that the Ghana Commercial Bank is running the GCB Hajj account. So if you want any information, they're outside there. You can help yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we move to our next itinerary for the day. And then we mentioned that we're going to change the face of the program. So we'll allow our panel members to give us the assent in 5 minutes. And then we'll take questions from you. So I guess I'll begin with you.
So just as she mentioned, we're going to start right about now, and we'll start off with Alhaji Mustafa Abubakar Batlemi Maslok to give us a preliminary message for 5 minutes, and then we'll do same with other members of the high table, and then thereafter we'll open the forum for questions. I believe that is the purpose of this gathering, for all of us to know the itinerary and the ways and means in which we can improve upon our businesses, merchandise business and opportunities that we are all in. So we'll start off with Alhaji Mustafa Abubakar Batlemi Mustafa Maslow. Please put your hands together for him.
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Innal hamdalillah nahmaduhu wa nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nasta'hdihi wa na'udzu bihi min shururi anfusina wa min sayyiati a'malina. Man yahdihillahu fala mudilla lahu wa man yudlil fala hadiya lahu. Wa ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu. Wa ashhadu anna sayyidina habibana wa shafihana Muhammad abduhu wa rasuluh. Our chairman, Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh, our chiefs, our representative from the National Chief Imam, our ambassadors, the ulama gathered here, our mothers, I greet you with the Islamic salutations of peace and love. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. I've been invited here as the Deputy Managing Director of Tamawa Refinery. But then while sitting, a call came through from the keynote speaker, Honorable Rashid Pelpo, who is supposed to be here. But then because of the funeral that we have in Salaga of the Executive Secretary of His Excellency the President today, he had to attend the funeral, so he asked for his apologies and said that I should step in. A difficult job to do because I just have only 5 minutes. I wouldn't bore you much, but then just to also say that our chairman for the occasion, Maulvi himself, is an entrepreneur. He's not only a spiritual father, he's a farmer, a top-notch farmer as well. And that must be stated in this our gathering. And we thank you for that, Maulvi. Islam is not just a religion that has catered for our spiritual needs, but has also provided guidance in all spheres of our lives. There are Islamic underpinnings in all institutions of our social structure, in government, family, economic, and education. Although all institutions of our social structure are important, one that ensures the issues of bread and butter in our societies is the economic institution. The state plays a very large role in shaping the economy, but opportunities are also made available for private entrepreneurship to flourish and aid in socio-economic development. Economics survive on commerce and trade. The drivers of these sectors in the private sector are entrepreneurs. Commerce and business are done within a framework that ensures benefit not only to the parties involved, but also to the communities and the nation at large. Muslim entrepreneurs are also known as halalpreneurs, must put at the back of their minds the issue of being fair and candid, uphold trust and adopt Islamic principles in their dealings. Personal interest must not override national interest or even the interest of the businesses entities they set up. As far as entrepreneurship is concerned, it is to build a strong network to make trust a bedrock for businesses. Trust will form the foundation for putting measures and putting resources together in building giant industries as against one-man businesses with little capital. And I've always said that to become a successful business entrepreneur, you don't need to have much amount of money or huge amount of money to start. You can start small and become big. My brothers and sisters in Islam, we have a number of examples we can cite as sitting here to be able to spur us on to build more entrepreneurs within Ghana. Today, the likes of Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, a top entrepreneur who started small, in 1997, he started what we call the engineers and planners. He had about maybe one excavator. But as we speak, he's one, if not the fourth, richest persons in Ghana. He's built his own business empire and has also built what we call the Jata Cement. He started small, but he's ended up big and has employed not less than 3,000 people in his agency alone. At-Takbir. Today, not only is he into Jata and machinery, but he's a poultry farmer. Ibrahim Mahama has over 150,000 eggs and 10,000 broilers at his farm. He's diversified in other areas as well. I will go on to say our own brother, Osei Kwame Despite, of Peace FM, OKFM. It will interest all of you to know that he started as, a chainsaw operator. One day he was at his farm or in the forest when a big tree fell on his chainsaw machine. And so he lost it. But he wasn't down, he wasn't disillusioned. He picked up the pieces and came to Kantamanto and began selling cassettes. Those days, we all know cassettes, music cassettes. Yes, Despite. He started selling. He sold feeding bottles. He sold padlocks. Today, Osei Kwame Despite, we all know, is one of the richest men in Ghana. He started from somewhere. And today, he's somebody. Another person I would want to bring to your attention is our own father, the late Alhaji Abdul Mumin, popularly known as Alhaji Nara. We all do know a man who was versed in transport and other real estates. One of the wealthiest persons we've ever had in Kumasi. May Allah grant him Jannah. He did a lot for the Muslim Ummah. He started small, and he was one of the millionaires, if not billionaires, in Ghana. I can go on and mention Alhaji Asuma Banda. May Allah grant him Jannah. He was for Amtrak Air and then Amtrak Shipping. We all know his life story and what he came to do for the Muslim Ummah. Not to take you far, our father Dangote started as a trader importing sugar, importing salt. And today, out of that, he built the Dangote refinery for sugar. Went ahead to build Dangote Cement. And today, he has one of the largest refineries in Africa, if not West Africa, maybe Africa. 650,000 barrels per day being produced in Nigeria. Allahu Akbar. I'm giving you these examples to let you know that all of these businessmen who started with little capital. They started maybe with a loan or a help from someone. Yes, we can do it. I applaud the organizers, the Ghana Muslim Entrepreneurs and Business Forum Summit, for this wonderful program, and to say that, inshallah, next year when we come, we must see all our business entrepreneurs gathered here with us. We must take advantage of them to let them also mentor some of our young ones coming out from the universities. And to be an entrepreneur, you don't need, forgive my language and hear me clearly, if you don't have the intelligence to be able to go to school, that will not make you feel that you cannot be an entrepreneur. To go to school is an added advantage to help you with your books. But today, don't say that because I haven't gone to school, I cannot make it. And another example I'll give you before I come to my final words is the fact that one of the richest men in the world, Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft, he started school, and then for 3 semesters, only 3 semesters, he fell out of school and established Microsoft. Today, Microsoft is what? The largest software company we can have in the world. And he's one of the richest men in the world. And so, your inability to be able to go to school should not deprive you of establishing your passion. You have a passion, not every one of us here. Allah has given us a passion for what we can do. Unless you don't tap into that passion. And so look at your vision and realize your own dream. I'm happy to state that one of the things His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is doing for us as the Muslim Ummah is to be able to introduce the Islamic banking. And that is the non-interest banking. Already plans are far advanced. The governor met the Muslim Ummah about 2 months ago at the Bank of Ghana to be able to let them understand where we're going with Islamic banking. May Allah bring it back to fruition. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has also stated through the Zongo Development Fund that we are going to, and it is in the manifesto, we are going to roll out what we call the Soyeya Fund. The Soyeya Fund is a form of a microfinance, credit that would advance some credit to our Muslim Ummah, those who are into trading, those who want to go out to bring in, whether it's maize or you are into food stuff or whatever. It's bringing the Soyeya Fund, and very soon it will be launched. That is a form of building more entrepreneurs for the Muslim Ummah. And so these are policies that we're enrolling for us to take advantage of. And I entreat each and every one of us not to sit, because I've always said that the universities, the whole public sector, Mr. Chairman, the workforce of the public sector is no more than 700,000. That's the police, the military, the nurses, the doctors you see. They are no more than 700,000. Yet our children who finish school, the universities, every one of them wants to work in the public sector. If 700,000 is what the government can take, and we have 100 and something thousand, or more than 150,000 coming out from the universities every year, tell me where they will fit in. Because those who retire from the public sector are not more than 100,000. But yet we continue to churn out graduates every year, more than 150,000. And so if we don't begin to have more entrepreneurs for our children and students to be able to go into their own business life, the unemployment issue will lead our children to be in the basis that we see, the attire basis, as well as Samagida, Bakomi. And that is the major challenge we are facing. I'm not saying sitting at attire basis after close of work is bad, but to sit throughout the day, you are at a base, and even calculating how New York is formed, or even doing your own, you are just, I mean, because some ways, yeah, I've got a market in the New York market foundation. You will be saying New York. And so it's important that we get them to start somewhere. Don't be shy. One of the things that, Mr. Chairman, our people get to coil back is to think that when I go to stand by the street and I'm selling that PK or Mentos or Duster or whatever, like we see some of our comrades do, I'll belittle myself. We shouldn't think that way. Don't be shy of what you're doing once it is halal. Kakajikunya. Where you give your family a bread and butter, make it a point to go for it. These same individuals you see on the streets are the ones who go back home during Christmas. They go back home in Kwewu and whatever, and you see that they built something on the foundation, on the land back home. And some of them even get money to be able to go back abroad. We can do it as Muslims. And so I want to thank all of you and to thank the organizers and say, we must begin to have, after this summit, a national awards for our business entrepreneurs. And I know Ghana Muslim Entrepreneurs Business Summit will take it up. Next year, we must assemble all our businessmen here, or whatever we can have, and begin to reward them and tax them to be able to take as many of our young ones and mentor them so that Islam and Zongo will move forward. I want to leave you with a quote which says that the way to get started is to quit talking and begin doing the work. The way to get started is to quit talking. Let's stop talking, some of us. Let's stop talking and begin to put some of our thoughts and vision into action. And this is by the words of Walt Disney. And I want to thank all of you on behalf of Honorable Rashid Purple, the Minister for Employment, and on behalf of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We are open to make sure that the banking sector, the microfinance sector, will open its doors to as many of our people to be able to go into their business. I thank you so much. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum.
A resounding applause for our speaker. Thank you so much. Mustafa Abubakar is the Deputy CEO of the Tema Oil Refinery. Also, you are reminded that we are live on Vibe Media on Facebook, and also reminded that we have SIC FSL in our midst. They have their stands out there. And Ghana Commercial Bank is also running their GCB Hajj account. Make sure that you approach them. Their stands are also outside. Shamun, can you give us a summary?
Thank you so much. So while we are seated waiting for Alhaji Mustafa Abubakar Bataleme Maslok to finish his delivery, it was so sweet that the organizer thought it wise that we have to do a summary translation in the Hausa language, what he said. To a takaice dai abinda babban bakon namu ya gabatar shine ya gode da waɗanda suka shirya wannan taro, na cewar wannan taro abu ne mai kyau saboda ko ba komai zai ba da dama a yi san yadda za a gudanar da harkoki na kasuwanci da kuma yadda za mu ci amfanin juna ta fuskan kasuwanci. Idan wasu suna yi suna samun nasara, mu ma al'ummar Zango, al'ummar musulmi mukan iya yi. Sai ya ci gaba da bayanin cewa akwai waɗanda yake daga cikinmu ne sun taka rawar gani 'yan ƙasar Ghana domin mu bari ya bar mu san inda suka soma kuma inda suka kai. Ya yi misali da Despite, Dr. Osei Kwame Despite ya soma ne yana sai da cassette da kaɗan-kaɗan ya fara da kayan abinci har yanzu ya kai a matsayin biloniya a ƙasar Ghana. Ya kuma je ya ce akwai babanmu Alhaji Naira daga Kotala birnin Kumasi, wanda yake shahararren ɗan kasuwa ne, wanda yake harkansa shine transportation, a irin atakuleta da sauransu zuwa ɗauko kaya. Ya soma ne da kaɗan-kaɗan har ya kai wannan matsayi ya shiga. In ka je Kumasi ba lungu da baka ganin gidan Naira. Ya ce waɗannan duk sun fara ne da kaɗan-kaɗan suka haura suka kai inda suka kai. To me zai sa mu ma al'ummar Zango ba za mu iya mu matsa mu kai wannan matsayi ba? Ya kuma ce kaga wasu ƙananan ayyuka da ake sai kaga kamar kana rena. Ya ce abin da kake yi kake samun abin kai bakin salati kaka rena, domin da kaɗan in ka soma za ka ga cewa shekara ya kai ka tattara kuɗi ka kai gida. Wallahi ire-iren waɗannan da suke sai da irin handkerchief, irin karen motoci wato mate da sauransu, da kaɗan suke tara kuɗi. Wallahi an ka je ƙauyukan su suke gina gida da sauransu. Har ma ya kai fage na san yanzu ma ba ruwan da boga, saboda abin da mate ko mai sai da handkerchief zai wani wuri, boga in ya zo da fiye watan shi ko vorticin shi ana wuligi da shi, ba ruwanmu da su. To hakan na nuna cewar idan mu ma ba mu rena abin da muke yi ba, wallahi mun kai fage da daudanmu, amma mun bullo wuri sai kaga ana durkusa ce wannan mai dauda ce kai shine ke kula da gida. To wannan na nuna cewar mu ma mun yami. Ya ce gwamnatinsa kasancewa tana kula da al'umma, kazalika wannan tafiya da ake yi su ma su ba da gudunmawa su taimaka ma al'ummar musulmi da Zango. Ya ce don haka ka kafa wannan tafiya na Soyayya Fan. Ya ce tafiya na Soyayya Fan wato asusu ne da aka kafa wanda za a raka baiwa mata akasari ƙananan rance na cewar wannan kuɗin sun samu su iya su je su juya. In tana zuwa ɗauko tumatiri ne, in tana zuwa ɗauko masara, gero, ta je ta ɗauko tana juyawa tana samun kuɗinta da kaɗan tana biya ba tare da wani wato kuɗin ruwa ba, interest. wato wace waɗannan duka ana yi ne domin a ga cewar washe gari ko gobe in ya kai ya kasance al'ummar zango su ma sun bunƙasa, al'ummar musulmi sun bunƙasa, su ma sun shiga harkar business da kasuwanci saboda tafiyanmu ya ƙara kyau ya karfafa. A takaice abin da ya faɗi kenan.
There's one thing that caught my attention in his presentation. He said, anger knows no shame. So we'll move on to our next presentation, and this one will come from the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Abiba Zakaria, and she's represented by Mr. Hafiz. A round of applause.
Distinguished Chair, representative of the eminent Chief Imam, ladies and gentlemen, I start off by greeting you with the best of greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It is indeed a great honor to be here representing the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Abiba Zakaria. She sends her warmest greetings to everybody at the summit. She wished that she would have represented and participated. Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond her control, she has asked that I stand in her stead to speak to the summit. First and foremost, the theme for the summit, engagement for purpose, to empower Muslim leaders and entrepreneurs. It's not only very succinct, but it also is very aligned with one of our key imperatives as an insurance regulator, and that is the development of the insurance market. Chairman, if you indulge me, I would briefly just explain about insurance. So insurance business is generally a pool. You have a number of people contributing money into the pool in the hope that you will not have losses coming from everybody, so that the few unfortunate ones, you would provide respite to them. Generally, if you look at it from the strictly from the Islamic jurisprudence perspective, there are some gaps because you have issues around riba, for example. You have issues around excessive uncertainty around some insurance products and the speculative nature of some insurance products. And so because of this, you have a critical mass of our population, especially Muslim communities, finding it very difficult to find some insurance products very attractive. But there is a solution to it, and that is why this summit is very important. You have Muslims, entrepreneurs who on an ongoing basis are looking to expand their operations and etc. Now, the insurance market offers us an opportunity to provide solutions that are aligned to our theological faith and etc. And one of the key products that we can develop to get traction for our Muslim communities is Takaful. Now, the insurance market, we have what we call our sandbox environment. And this is what the sandbox environment does. It offers us an opportunity to test solutions that are new, solutions that are not conventional or in our mainstream insurance market, so that from the regulatory perspective, we can assess to see whether or not there is traction to that solution. Now, that offers us as entrepreneurs an opportunity to design products that are anchored at providing solutions to people which are insurance in nature for the insurance market. Once you get that solution into the sandbox environment, we are able to test it, and if it works, we find it into mainstream markets. Mr. Chair, I would also like to mention that as a policy initiative, the National Insurance Commission is working towards developing a policy for the operations of Takaful, so that it will become much easier for us to design solutions that are targeted to many people who are currently unserved or underserved. In insurance practice, there is one very important thing that we call the risk protection gap. Now, let me explain it. If you have a risk event, for example, we have floods in Ghana, and you were to count the amount of losses that emanate from the flood, and you were to juxtapose that losses to the component that insurance companies cover, often you would see that there is a monumental difference between the total amount of losses that people suffocate under when you have this flood situation and etc., compared to insurance coverage. Now, how do you then design solutions that are able to address these needs? And that is why it is important that as key stakeholders who are very open to the Islamic practice, you get interest into joining the insurance landscape and designing solutions that first and foremost would provide you a sustainable business, but you also gives you an opportunity to serve a critical mass of our people who on a daily basis are suffering and they do not have solutions to their needs and etc. So the Commissioner of Insurance wishes everybody well, and she says that one of the insurance market is open to the Muslim community and that she is ever ready to engage us. On this note, I would like to thank everybody and say the Commissioner expresses a deepest thank you.
Thank you so much. A resounding applause. So that was a presentation from the Commissioner of Insurance, Dr. Abiba Zakaria, read to you by Mr. Hafiz. A round of applause to him once again. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we jump on our final presentation before we get into our solidarity speakers. And then I'd like to invite the First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Mr. Zakaria Mumuni. He's not in our midst, so he will be represented by Ishmael Adam. A round of applause for him.
The Chairman, so I will stand on the existing protocols established and say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So Dr. Mumuni Zakari, who is the First Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, was invited to be part of the discussion. But another important engagement took him somewhere, and he asked me to represent him at this program. What he was asked to speak on borders on the Islamic economic system, the transparent, the just, the fair Islamic economic system, and how that can impact on the socio-economic development of our country. And so, based on the fact that we have just 5 minutes, I will just look at those economic systems, the underlying principles of that economic system, and then see how it is impacted on our socio-economic development, or how it can impact on our socio-economic development. And so the first issue that I'd like to talk about is the economic system where it prohibits charging of interest by financial institutions. And so at the core of Islamic economic system is a trajectory that promotes risk sharing and not risk shifting. And so both the entrepreneur and the bank shares both the profit and the risk. And so this kind of economic system prevents exploitative interest being charged on businessmen like you, because there are concepts, one called musharaka, one called mudaraba, which allows for profit sharing by both the borrower and the lender. And when that happens, it impacts positively, especially on those doing SME businesses, which is the backbone of our economy. Then there's also this principle that beyond, for every monetary activity, there should be an underlying asset. And so in Islam, we don't see money as a commodity to be traded in. And that is what is happening in our banks. You go, they give you money, they put a very high interest on it, and they expect you to pay back. What Islam does is to link a tangible asset or service underlying that activity, that financial activity. And so that principle discourages speculative trading, which is the bane of the global economic crisis that we've been having. Another principle underlying Islamic economic system is the issue of social security in the form of zakat, where it is mandatory for the rich to transfer some of their wealth to cater for the poor. And so this zakat system could be a powerful tool for funding poverty alleviation, for funding education, for funding healthcare, and providing a safety net for people who are vulnerable in our society. And so based on that, and as our friend from the Tamale Refinery said, one of the issues in the manifesto of NDC was to get Islamic form of finance, which I said borders on transparency, borders on trust, borders on justice, and borders on fairness. And it will interest you to know that the person who was appointed to lead this discussion or this journey is a Christian. We just wanted to dispel the notion that the issue of bringing Islamic finance in Ghana is to Islamize the country. And so we thought it through and got a Christian who is well versed in Islamic finance to lead the discussion. He's the person of Professor John Gachi, who was a professor in finance at the University of Cape Coast before joining the Bank of Ghana. And he is the one leading this journey. I think I saw one of the committee members. I don't know whether he's gone back. Yes, so that is his son, a native of Wa, who is part of, and I think you should get up for the people to see you, who is part of the team that is putting the regulatory framework in place for us to start with this journey. Let me say that the team has been able to put a draft in place, a draft for the general public to discuss and give their inputs. And so as Muslim community, as business people, our hope is that you help in reshaping the draft in the interest of the country at large. But beyond putting the regulation in place, as I said, the discussion was to look at the impact of Islamic economic system on the economic well-being of Ghanaians. And this system, as I said, is fair, is just, is transparent. I always say that when you have a transparent system, it breeds credibility. And when you have credibility, it breeds trust. And so one way is to ensure that everything that is happening in the economic system is fair and just, is transparent. So as a businessman here, what you need to think about is ask yourself, are you paying fair wages to your employees? And if you're also here as an employee, ask yourself whether you are giving the fair due that the businessman expects from you. It's a two-way affair. Much as you expect fair wages from the employer, you also need to work hard for the employer to get that value that he requires from you. Then there's also the issue of a trust. And so in the boardroom, what are we discussing? Are we encouraging trust? Are we just building that social capital of trust? Or we are just concerned about profit making? And with the Islamic economic system, the issue of trust, the issue of building trust and building that social capital, and not only leveraging on profit, is one of the key essentials of that system. Then also the issue of full disclosure. You are going into the contract. There are some hidden issues in the contract, but you don't make that known to the other party. Islam doesn't allow that. And so Islam requires that we be open, we be fair, so that each party knows the kind of contract is entering into. And that, when that is done, we expect to have a fair and just economic system. What is the other impact? And so there are millions of Ghanaians who are Muslims but wouldn't want to participate in the conventional banking because they think that it's not in line with their Islamic beliefs and Islamic values. And so when we are able to bring this kind of financial system that is in line with our beliefs, that is in line with our values, then we get millions of Ghanaians who don't want to be part of the conventional banking system. And what does that do? It builds capital formation for the economic development that we are all looking at. And as I said, the Islamic economic system is also based on asset backing and risk sharing. And so if you have that kind of financial system, what it does is that it builds a strong and resilient economy as opposed to the kind of economies that we have in the Western world, which is based on just profit making without any ethical consideration underlying it. One way of the Islamic financing system also impacting on our economy is its ethical nature. Our culture emphasizes on ethics, our sense of community, our respect for fairness, and these are all embedded in Islamic economic principles that if you're able to adopt it, it will help in the conduct of business and even in the public life. And then finally, let me say that if you adopt the Islamic economic system, Ghana will become a hub for Islamic financing in West Africa. There are so many investors in the Middle East who want to invest in countries, but they want to invest in economic activities that are in line with their beliefs, right? And so this is the right time. I think we are even late as a country by adopting this kind of economic system, especially on the financing side. Because there are so many business opportunities in East Europe or Middle East that are looking for the kind of economic activities that are in line with the principles of Islam, but they are not getting that kind of opportunities. And so now that we are moving in that direction, the expectation is that there will be a lot of investments from Middle East that will inure to the benefit of our country. So let me end my presentation by saying that the path that Ghana has taken in adopting Islamic economic system is the right one. When we are thoughtful about it, when we are intentional about it, we are not creating a parasystem. We are just strengthening the existing financial space. We are adding an engine of ethics, engine of inclusivity, and sustainable growth to our national development. All we are saying is that our growth should not be measured only by GDP, but how just are we sharing the GDP? Should the GDP be high? They say that sometimes we hear that our per income capita is about 4,000 Ghana cedis. How many people are having access to that 4,000 Ghana or $4,000? How many people are having access to that kind of money? And so we are not going to measure, if you adopt this kind of economic system, you're not going to measure our welfare only by the GDP alone, by the just manner that the income is distributed, with integrity and with fairness. Let us as Muslim businessmen therefore embrace this opportunity of the quest to embrace the Islamic financing system in Ghana. We need to build scholars. One important aspect of Islamic financing system is what we call the Sharia board. And so we need to build capacities in that area. People who have knowledge in Islamic financing can build their capacity in that area to be the advisors to those who are doing churning out Islamic financial products. And so we need to build our capacities as scholars, as policy makers, and as business leaders to come together to build our nation using this form of financing. And the belief is that when we do that, our economic growth and our principles of justice, principles of equity, principles of transparency, and principles of benevolence will work hand in hand with whatever economic activity that we are doing. On this note, let me thank you all and once again express the inability of the first deputy governor to be here. He sent his apologies for not being able to be with you because he has another very important program to attend. And say thank you all for listening. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Please, once again, put your hands together for him. Thank you. What a very powerful message. I've been obliged to translate into the Hausa language, so please bear with me. And Alhaji Edmond, 2020 Peace Ambassador, is the one who insisted that we should translate so that it will go well and it will go down to our people, with our people, so that they will to understand whatever we're doing here. And also Alhaji Farouk Asma, we also appreciate you. So a takaice dai yayi bayani yace shi aikin da suke yana da matukar muhimmanci, amma babban batu shine yanzu ana tafiya irin yanda za a kirkirar wato tsarin banki na Islama ko kwace Islamic banking. Yace shine yanda wato za hana wato samun kudin ruwa mai yawa wanda yake yana ɗaya daga cikin tsarin da yake taimaka wajen harkan samun kuɗi da kuma hada-hadar kuɗi ta yadda kowa zai amfana. Wannan yawan interest kamar da muka sani, yawan kuɗin ruwa yana ɗaya daga cikin dalilan da ya sa mutane ba sa zuwa karɓar rance da sauransu. Wata sa'in don business ɗinka ya bunƙasa kana buƙatar kaɗan samu ɗan kuɗi kaɗan domin ya bunƙasa aikinka. Ya ce bacin hakan kuma abin da suke ƙoƙari suke yi na samar da wannan wato non-interest banking ko kuwa Islamic banking shine wannan tsarin yana taimaka wajen idan aka samu riban ya kasance na kowa, kana kuma idan bashi ya zo bashin ya kasance na kowa. To wannan yana ɗaya daga cikin abin da zai sa wani ba zai cuci wani ba. Ya ce waɗannan abubuwan da suke na ganin cewar an bunƙasa harkar nan na samun kuɗi, na hada-hadar kuɗi, kuma ya kasance ɗan kasuwa yana samun wannan dama shi ma ya bunƙasa kansa ba tare da cewar wani zai yi kuɗi a madadinka ba, domin ba kai ba ne ya zama na ku duka kuɗi, amma kuma riba ya zo sai a rabo. Ya ce waɗannan yana ɗaya daga cikin abin da ake taimaka. Ya ce wannan kuma shi ke nuna cewar bayan an yi wannan akwai irin gudunmuwa kamar da muka sani da bayan abin da aka samu sai a baiwa wato mutane da sauransu wanda mu namu na tsarin Islama ana kiran shi zakka. To shine yace wannan kuma yana daga cikin an fitar da kaso a bada zakka saboda ayi wasu ayyuka na gine-gine da sauransu. Yace wannan tsarin bankin yana kawo yadda, wannan tsarin bankin yana taimakawa komai yayi tafiya ba tare da matsala ba. Yace da aka soma wannan tattaunawar na samun non-interest banking ko kuwa Islamic banking sai ya kasance mutane ba su fahimci tafiyar ba. To amma da Allah zai allanta kansa sai aka samu shahararren masanin tattalin arziki Dr. John Dachi, shi ya rike abin ma yake tallata wannan tafiya, yake cewa a'a idan ko muna son Ghana ta bunƙasa ta ci gaba sai an kirkiro da wannan shirin na Islamic banking ko kuwa non-interest banking saboda me ya taimaka. Ya ce wannan shine matsalolin da muke ciki na tattalin arziki da sauransu, in wannan ya samu ya fara tafiya zai taimaka mana. Ya ce abu ne da yake suke duba domin ganin cewa tafiyan ya yi kyau. A takaice jawaban nasa kenan daga cikin harshen Hausa. Mun gode sosai. So we'll do what we call the solidarity messages. Please bear with us, we'll have to do that. And then just after that, then we'll open the forum for everyone to contribute or to ask questions. Lantam Abdul Jabbar, CEO Courses, tech giant within the Zongo Muslim community is here. Lantam Abdul Jabbar, Courses, please put your hands together for him. And thank you for joining us as far as the event is concerned. Okay, I understand also in our midst is the CEO of Accra Newtown Islamic Hospital, Jibrin Isa Tutu, the giant, is here with us. Please put your hands together for him. Thank you. Currently building Islamic Nursing College at Samsam. We appreciate your effort and your contribution to the Muslim community. So we call upon SIC FSL to come deliver a solidarity message in about 1 or 2 minutes, I believe, so that we can move forward. So please.
I'm here to talk about some few things. My name is Fred. I work with SIC Financial Services. SIC Financial Services, we are subsidiary to SIC Life and SIC General. SIC General owns 70% shares and SIC Life owns 30% shares. So purely, we are subsidiary to SIC, both General and Life. So what I want to talk about briefly, I'm here to talk about pension. The previous speakers talks about a lot of investment, a lot of programs, but I didn't hear them talk about pensions. But what is pensions? Pensions means that whilst you are working, whilst you are young, you need to be putting something down for your future. The day your employer will hand over your appointment letter, a day is coming, he will also hand over to you your retirement letter. So he knows that retirement is real. People go to retirement, you see how they behave. You cannot go on retirement and going to build. Once you have life or you are healthy today, you can start building. Whilst you're on retirement and you are building, as soon as you see a mason drinking beer, you say, well, that's my cement, 1 bag of my cement. So I want to emphasize on this. Our table is outside. We manage pensions, we manage provident fund, we manage private wealth. When you have your own lump sum of money you want to invest, you can come to us. We direct you. We show you what to do, what not to do, because we all of us know how the market is. So if you're not dynamics, you cannot understand the markets. So, but I want to emphasize on it. But the retirement is very important, especially the tier 3. Government has given us a role to play in tier 3. Tier 3 simply means that the government gives us some kind of tax relief that we can enjoy in tier 3. Simply means that if Alaji B and Alaji A, their salary is 5,000 by the end of the month, and Alaji A decided that he will do tier 3, 1,000 cedis, and Alaji B decided I will not do tier 3. But we also know that tier 3, before you start, there are rules. Good. Before your accountant will take your 1,000 cedis, what we are doing, let's say 5,000, I decide to do 1,000 cedis from a salary. They will take the 1,000 cedis before they apply tax. That means they are applying tax on 4,000 for you, because you are contributing 1,000 cedis to tier 3. So normally they take the contribution, they take it before they apply tax. So whoever is doing it 1,000 cedis, they are applying tax on 4,000 for you. So you are saving 1,000 cedis free. But whoever is not doing, the Alaji B is not doing it. He said, I won't do it, so I'm relaxed. They are applying tax on what? The 5,000. So we are saving, the Alaji A is 7,000 free cool chop. Do you understand? So government give us 16.5%. You can contribute to. Okay? So I want to end here. Our table is outside. Whoever wanted to get more clarity, it can come to us. Thank you very much.
So we'll move on to our next solidarity message from Ghana Commercial Bank. If we have a representation here, a round of applause for them.
Thank you very much. Salaam alaikum. My name is Khadija, and my colleague is Halila Ibrahim. Yes. So we are from GCB Bank PLC, And our main purpose here is to talk about the Hajj accounts. Hajj is one of the pillars in Islam. And in order to make it easy for Muslims, GCB has designed a special product for that. So it's a savings account that you can start with 50 Ghana cedis, as low as that 50 Ghana cedis, and save towards Hajj. The good thing about it is that it has an insurance package for people who will be backing on that journey. So let's say if you have critical illness, loss of items, GCB is ready to take care of it for you. That is, the insurance package will cover it for you. So we are just here we will be brief about it. We are outside. So if you have further questions, you can contact us for. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So please patronize all our partners and make sure that you also help them progress in business. So at this juncture, with all humility, bear with us. We're going to take the last solidarity message, and then we'll open the forum. We have discussed with the chairperson that we'll all box everything together. When we are done, we'll go and offer our prayers. So please bear with us. Please bear with us. So we call the ambassador of Palestine in Ghana, Ambassador Satari, to come and deliver a solidarity message. Please put your hands together for him.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Chairman, Imams, Ulama, Chiefs, member of the Diplomatic Corps, my brothers and sisters, thank you so much for inviting me. I'm happy to be here today. After 11 years, I spent it in Ghana. I'd like to convey to all of you the greeting of the Palestinian president, the greeting of our government, the greeting of my people in Gaza, our moms, our children, our students, our journalists, our nurses. I'd like to convey to all of you the greeting of my people in the West Bank who's suffering more than 76 years under the Israeli occupation. About this program, I'm feeling now Ghana my second country. So let me say something. If the Muslims united in any place in this world, nobody can stop them. And they can do all the Muslims programs in all the world. But if the Muslims separate, I think we have big problem. So I invite all of you, all of us say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. All of us believe in the pray, the salah. All of us believe in Siyam, Ramadan. All of us believe in Al-Hajj. All of us. So I advise all of you to unite it all the time and speak in one voice. God said in the Quran, subhanahu wa ta'ala, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا وَقَالْ إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةً. I have two messages. The first one to the Ghanaian woman. When I arrived to Ghana before 11 years, I went the next day to buy something to my house. I saw in the traffic lights some of the Ghanaian women carry on their head very heavy things and see the small things to win some money by the end of the day, and they try to support and help her family and her children. So I think not all the women in the world can do this. So all of us should be proud of the Ghanaian woman. About my brothers here, listen to me. You know how many Muslim soldiers went with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to open Mecca? When the Prophet Muhammad went with the Muslims soldiers to open Mecca, 13,000. Open all the history book in the world. How many names you will find with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam? You will find the 13,000? No. You will find 10,000? No. You will find 5,000? No. 1,000? No. 500? No. 100? No. You will find only the history write the name of 15 to 20. Why? Because this 20, the leader of the Muslims army in that time went with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to open Mecca. All of us should ask ourselves, I will continue my life small, nobody will talk about me, or I want the history to write my name. All of you, if you want to build your country Ghana, if you want to build the economy of Ghana, if you want to increase the business of Ghana, or your special business, you should ask yourself, I will be very big person and the history will write about me or no? All of you, I'm sure, he wants the history to write about him. So my brother or sister, work hard to yourself, take care about yourself, about your family, about your neighbors, about your people, and love your country Ghana more than you love yourself. And I pray in the end of my speech, one day, Palestine will be free. And all of us, inshallah, will pray in the Al-Aqsa Mosque. Free Palestine. Thank you so much.
Definitely, that's our prayer. Someday, very soon, Palestine should be free. Inshallah. I guess it's now time for us to open the forum. I think enough of all the speeches. It's now to also hear from our distinguished guests who are here. And of course, our high table personalities that we've invited will also be ready to answer the questions. So this is how we're going to do. Mike is going to go around. You mention your name, and then if an institution you're representing or any business that you're doing, and then you ask a question. And any question at all you might want to ask, I'm sure anyone who deems it fit, who is seated at high table, will do the honor of answering the questions, inshallah. So.
And I also think that the main purpose of this program is for us to collaborate and also network. So as you are here, make sure that you don't leave here without anything. Make sure you are networking with others who are already into the entrepreneurial business, so that by the time you leave here, you're leaving here with so much with you. So I'll be coming round. If you want to ask any question, you can raise your hand. I think we have.
Oh, okay, you have one? Okay. So we'll take one over there and then we'll take another one here. So please bear with us. We'll take maybe 3 at a go and we come back, we take another. But it should be brief. Kana so ka kai Hausa ko ko kai Turanci, duk abinda kowane yare kake son kai akwai dama.
Assalamu alaikum. I wrote something down so I don't bore you with too much talk. So my name is Hajja Zelia Kasim. I commend the organizers of this event. Kudos to each of you, your sponsors and supporters. Allah richly bless you. I'm here representing Magaja Hausawa Ankara, Hajia Hawa Mizango. As President of Council of Magajo in Ghana, she's a strong advocate for women empowerment. If she was here, I'm sure she'd ask, where's the female representation? Women run most small businesses in our Muslim communities. I dare even say, generally, majority of small businesses are owned by women in Ghana as a whole. Don't quote me on that. Yet, none of these incredible women are here to share their expertise. We need to do better. Representation matters. You've done well, but we need you to do better.
Fantastic. So we take the last one and then we'll come back for the next set. So let's take the last one. Your name, please. Wa alaikum assalam. The one in the smoke? Alhaji Abubakar, Mustafa Abubakar Maslok.
Alhaji, please you said we can start small and later make it big. A lot of us see that small to be big for us. How do we even start in the first place? We know women in Islamic community and all that, some of us get married in our early ages and all that because of these managing forms. We don't even have the strength to start again. How do we start?
All right, thank you. I think your question has been well articulated. So we'll first start with the claim on insurance, and we'll hand over to our insurance person here.
Thank you very much. So the questioner mentioned SIC, and we have SIC Insurance and SIC Life. So, but be that as it may, if you file a complaint against an insurance company in respect of a claim, we have what we call our complaints management system or our complaint management guidelines that gives specific durations in which insurance companies are supposed to settle claims. Now, if it takes a bit longer, you have the opportunity to reach out to the National Insurance Commission. We have a complaint portal. So if you go online, just Google National Insurance Commission's complaint portal. If you Google that, you have an opportunity to lodge your complaint. Once you lodge your complaint to us and you mention the name of the entity, almost immediately you will get the National Insurance Commission responding to you. You will be in the trail of conversation between NIC and the regulated entity. And throughout the process, we would ensure that if it is a valid claim, it will be paid promptly. So if you have a complaint against, I don't know whether it's SIC or SIC Life, if it is not resolved, just do that. You can also come to the premises of the National Insurance Commission. Thank you. So let me address this one. We also have what we call our market conduct practices. Now, we have insurance agents and we also have insurance brokers who often sell the products that insurance companies have. Now, an agent, because sometimes agents get commissions for selling products, some of them do what we call mis-selling. So they sell a product to you and make promises that are not very valid. We recognize that is one of the challenges that we have on our market. One of the things that we have done is that continually we are ensuring that those bad people are taken out of our market. But almost immediately, if you have a complaint like that and you need redress, you have lodged it, there are reasoned concerns, just lodge it to our complaint management system or identify an NIC office, the National Insurance Commission's office, and come and lodge your complaint. Thankfully, you would have your brothers also at the commission, and we would address that. Thank you.
Let me acknowledge the presence of Dr. Marzouk Abubakar Azindo. I think we haven't done that. Please forgive us. Dr. Marzouk Abubakar Azindo is seated with us. So we'll go to the next question. Zalia Kasim asked that female representation in the panel members, and that going forward we should be able to do that. What do you mention about female representation? Who should we give? Okay, one of the organizers is here, so please, and then I'm sure our lady from the Investment Promotion Center, Zainab Isa, will also want to say something. But before then, let's do this.
Thank you so much. My name is Mudassir Idris Abdul Mumin. I'm the Director of Program and Administration. One of our sisters here raised issue regarding gender parity and inclusivity, which I think is very, very important. During our outreach program, we try as much as possible to give invitation and also brief most of the Muslim businesswomen about the concept. Invitations were given out. Unfortunately, some of them didn't honor it. Even as part of the speakers who are supposed to speak today, we had two ladies in it. None of them represented it. That is not to say that you people don't honor invitation or don't take such program seriously. We did our best. We want to plead for you to forgive us for any lapses this time around. This is the maiden edition. We promise to improve, do everything right in our subsequent programs. Thank you very much.
This is an honest mistake. Why are you lucky, Anka? Aja Zalia, she will deal with you, but you are pardoned. So we'll go to the next about women starting business and the challenges involved. They get married early and they don't even have the capital. How do they start?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In a very short time, maybe I'll tell you a story. But the first thing is that business, like Al-Hajj said, is mostly in your heart. It's a lot of passion. Sometimes you don't even start with money. I've seen people who had no money, but went to people who had stock, and also went to people who needed the stock, and spoke to both of them, and without any money, was able to do business and get commission on the sale. I know a person who 21 years ago started a business with today's 500 Ghana cedis. Presently, with the 500 Ghana cedis, without mentioning figures, the person has the business in Ghana, in Liberia, and in Gambia, with an average net worth of about 60 million.
And the person is the one speaking.
And it may not sound real, but it's real. Now, you have to have a lot of knowledge in what you want to do. You have to have a lot of passion and willingness to achieve. You have to be focused. You have to apply a lot of integrity, and you have to persevere. I don't know the kind of business you have in mind, but you can also look out for people who understand what you want to do and get some knowledge in how to do it. In business, starting small is the best. I always advise people, and the advice I give to them is that even if you have $1 million, don't start the business with more than $10,000, because you will stumble, you will have problems. Even the economy could change. That could take everything away from you. For instance, you want to start a poultry business. I recently even learned that even if you are putting your hen coop, the poultry structure, and you direct it towards the wind, overnight all your birds could die. This is knowledge, and you may not know that. So let's say you have $1 million, and because you think you want to make it big, you invest big in the poultry, and then you don't put your structure at a right angle. And overnight, there is that wind, the storm, and by the time you come the next day, all the birds are dead. So you need to start small. In fact, the biggest advantage for people who do not have money to start business is the fact that they don't have money to start business. Because you don't have a lot of money to attempt the business, and for want of better expression, get into a situation of you losing the money. But you have the advantage of making the mistakes, learning from the mistakes, stumbling, and trying to overcome your challenges. So stay focused, learn from your mistakes, and I believe, inshallah, you rise up. Assalamu alaikum.
Let me add something. The lady who asked the question, on a more lighter note, just move around your hood and spot a Yoruba woman. She would take you through the whole thing. Yoruba women, all what they needed is native intelligence. They are so massive when it comes to business, particularly business which has to do with women. If you talk to her seriously, you'll be home and dry. So look for a Yoruba woman. She'll share her native intelligence with you. And you know what they do, particularly the Yoruba women, that they don't look for massive profit. They look for massive turnovers. Massive turnovers. That is the concept of the Chinese businessman. No massive profit, massive turnovers. So, madam, look for the Yoruba woman in your hoop, okay?
By extension, he's telling all the men to go for Yoruba women. There's this one, and the man who is going to, this man is married to a Yoruba woman. So possibly, maybe that's the reason. You want to add more?
Just to add to what our chief has said, a number of times, like, we assume that you would need to have the capital before you start. There are people in this room or in Ghana who have the money but do not have the idea. And there are people who have the ideas, don't have the money. So yours is to be able to go out there and advertise or have your plan. First and foremost, have an idea of what you want to do. Have a business plan. Make sure that you survey the market as to what you want to do, whether you want to sell a product or something. And then, of course, begin to build a network, a strong network, to see those who may be interested and say, well, I admire your product, let me see a sample of it. There's this gentleman I was trying to read out who is called Rashid Adams, the CEO of what? Rush Cocoa Hut. This is someone who started with the coconut. Little by little, today he's one of the biggest entrepreneurs we have in Ghana. And that is why government has also set up what we call the National Entrepreneurship Innovative Program. For those who have the ideas and do not have the wherewithal to start. And so almost every year, we are turning out about 10,000 businesses with that support in terms of financial support to be able to give to people who have the ideas. And they began. And some of our own people who approached some of us, some in this room, were part of those who were selected to be part of the National Entrepreneurship Program. And so, of course, like Chief has said, network, bring your idea, share it with someone, or even go to somebody who has a stock of maybe a Sobolo product or another soft drink product, or has something that you want to sell. Pick some of it, go to another community and try to sell out of it. You may make a commission. That little commission you make can let you have your financial, your working capital to start your own business. And that is what we should do. I thank you so much.
Whose parents have businesses in the newer market, in the Mano market, to see the opportunities in those businesses. Why don't we educate them? It should be a conscious effort, okay, an intentional plan, where we group them, educate them, and make them understand that wache your mother is selling on the road would yield so much for you. That cocoa, someone has picked our own cocoa, is now doing it cocoa cane. Someone, when it comes to wache, it's only one woman that I've seen that she has branded her wache to an extent that even internationally, we hear people talking about the wache that's Ajia, the late Ajia. So these are our indigenous businesses that we could scale up by understanding what it takes to rebrand and reproject those businesses. And I believe, as the Deputy CEO of Tamawa Refinery, Alhaji Mustafa mentioned, if we are able to do this, to put this understanding and skill within the younger ones, nobody will finish university thinking I have to go and look for a job. So this goes to the Zongo Development Fund, and then any other government body that is interested in building businesses within our Zongo community. This should be one of the focus. And
All right, thank you so much. I really appreciate these conversations because they are very powerful and insightful conversations. My name is Samdia. I'm the CEO of EcoMe Africa, and we locally produce innovative menstrual products and other hygiene solutions. So my question goes to Hajia Zainab from GIPC. So as young people, we've been encouraged to be innovative, to come up with business ideas, and with passion and knowledge and skills. When people are able to do that, there's a stage where they need to skill. You achieve some traction, and then you need to skill. And that's where compliance come in. There are so many compliance restrictions, regulatory requirements that actually stifle young businesses and eventually die. So at GIPC, what are the interventions you are putting in place to support these businesses to survive? And then as they survive and scale, you also take them through some of these compliance to be able to survive. Thank you.
Sorry. I took this because I've done a paper on succession planning. And even before I talk about those small businesses that we are discussing, we've also, all of us, we've experienced big businessmen that we knew growing up, that their businesses are no more. I believe if you look around in your area, in your mosques, you can identify some of them. We have to understand how succession planning works. The understanding of a lot of people is that they look for somebody to replace the CEO. That is the one who is the leader of the company. But that is the wrong concept of it, and that is the reason why the businesses collapse. Succession planning, you have to be looking at the various operations in the business, such that if the one who does that particular operation is not around, somebody else should be able to do that operation. So if you are into the production of, Sobolo was mentioned, so let me also mention it. Maybe it has 2 or 3 operations, and 2 or 3 people are skilled in those specific operations. To be able to sustain that business, for each operation, there should be a second person who can fill in for that. That is the succession planning. With that idea, when the CEO is not around, the business will run. Now, to come to the micro level, when you come to the micro level, the waches and the small sobolos and other things, you see, it is true what our brother said, that the children or the people around may not like to participate in the businesses that pay their school fees. Let me put it that way. Those businesses pay their school fees, but they are not interested in it. But it is because of mindset, and that is why forums like this are very important. Okay, those of us who have traveled, do we know Starbucks? We know it. They make tea. That's what they give to us. How different is that from those who travel from here to Tamale? When I was doing my national service at Salaga, I remember when we get to Kintampo in the night. I don't know whether you've experienced that then. We used to go in the night so that we go and meet the tea at Kintampo. There's no difference between that and the operations of Starbucks, but for branding. What is the job of a company like Popeye and KFC? All they sell is awamo. It's a matter of understanding. So, the school that we have gone to, okay, we have to sit down, think through it, and see how to present the businesses of our parents. In fact, there are 1 billion jobs in Ghana, in my opinion. You see, if you move from say, the beginning of Nima High Street to the end of the Mamobi end, there are so many businesses that can be scaled up. So many. It can be granules, it could be corn, it could be anything. It could be packaged, it could be scaled up in many ways. But let me quickly do this in case the microphone doesn't come back to me. Let me quickly share this. You see, it's better to organically grow your business. When the gentleman was talking about government intervention, I understood it. I think when you are doing certain, for instance, the area he mentioned, you may need the government because it's a government thing. However, I want us to build our businesses independent of government. You see, you can do that. You can organically grow your business so that you do incremental jumps in the expansion of the capital so that you don't rush it, because there is something we call management bandwidth. You know, like we have the internet bandwidth. There's also management bandwidth where you grow too fast. Now you are not able to keep standards. You are not able to keep, what do they call it? Brands across. If it's food you are producing, the taste in Dansoman is different from Kaneshi. That's management bandwidth, and that can take a nosedive. So you have to gradually grow. You have to be incremental, and you have to take your time to grow. Assalamu alaikum.
All right. Okay, before we go to the next, we'll take a quick one from Mustafa.
Thank you very much. I think my brother made a point about the commitment from government to help entrepreneurs. Let me state that I will speak for my government though. Somewhere in 2011, for all of you who know Alhaji Seidu Agongo, Alhaji Seidu Agongo, Meshinkafa, he was one of the people, I would say, the then government under President Mahama really gave a number of support to be able to uplift him to become a successful entrepreneur, leading to even we giving him a license to open the Heritage Bank, which was collapsed under the last regime. Another thing that the government of the NDC did was to be able to give support to our late father, Alhaji Adamu Global Haulage. In fact, about 6 banks came together to provide 149 trucks, and we all know that he's into haulage business of cocoa and so many things. Dr. Dufour then was the finance minister, and His Excellency John Dramani Mahama made sure that he was given that facility. Though it's a loan, but of course these are some interventions that we continue to give. And I use yourself as an example. In the past, you were not getting these jobs to do the school placement. But then thankfully, I'm sure under the leadership of Honorable Haruna Idrisu, you're able to get this job to do today to be able to have a school placement. And so that should tell you that, of course, we continue to open the doors. Yours is to take advantage. I don't see that discrimination within the business sector, not at all. Dr. Nasiru, the former governor of the Bank of Ghana, I can tell you, and without mentioning the names because I don't have the permission to mention their names, gave some support through other banks to our Muslim Ummah. And not the Christian fraternity and then our Muslim Ummah. But then there were some successful businessmen who came out there. And for our ministers of state today, like if Honorable Rashid Pepper was here, you would have been seeing those who are into poultry, those who want to go into fabric, those who want to go into so many businesses. They come in to ask for us to lead them to the various institutions that they can be able to get support. So there will be more to be able to do for our people. I thank you so much.
All right, let's take the last one. A question about GIPC compliances and all of that. Ajia Zainab Isa will answer that. From the GIPC. Please help me out.
Okay, thank you very much for the question. Initially, I'd wanted to pass a comment on what my first sister said about how to start the business, and I wanted to just say to her that she has started. Being here at this forum means that she's looking to explore opportunities, and that is what I wanted to pass across, that when you stay back at home thinking that the help will come to you, it will not happen. You also need to take the initiative of moving forward and networking with people that have the knowledge or the expertise. When you go for forums like this, you just don't sit down, identify the people around and then speak to them. And I guess this is how I wanted to see that she has started. Now with GIPC, as I discussed earlier, we are the foremost investment promotion agency in Ghana. So basically, what we do is to, speak to investors, identify what the investor needs, and then connect the investor to the right partner here in Ghana. With businesses like you, we have other agencies like the GEPA and Free Zones that also do, work with young entrepreneurs like you. What they do is that I know they do some form of training. Whenever you come on board, you register with them, they train you for they have like a 1 month or 2 months training on certification. And then aside that, they open the market, they tell you where your product will do well in maybe other countries. So if you are into cocoa, selling cocoa, they direct you to help you identify the market that you can trade in and even connect you to the right partner. So all you need to do is to walk into these agencies. The agencies are there, as our last speaker mentioned. The facilities are there. Ours is to make sure that we move on to these places and then tap into the opportunities that are available. But now, my question now is, I think we'll be making a lot of references with the Despite and all that. You know that the Despite group has, in fact, within their own community, and I'm saying this on my own behalf, based on my own personal observations that I have done, they are organized. they have the East Legon Executive Club and all that. So with such organizations, they are said that they pool funds amongst each other to support themselves. But for us as a Muslim Ummah, if anyone, maybe I don't know, but can anyone tell me if we have such grouping to say that we have individual people or businessmen who have that grouping that they can groom us, have that grooming and say we've identified we are doing this project? Because listen, an investor or anyone giving you money or loan or anything will not put his money anywhere that he or she will not get benefit from. So they are excelling, they are doing their business club, they are using the media to project their work, have people see them for who they are. I traveled and I saw in a magazine that they've grouped them. They have one of their executives as one, they group them as a top financier or something. And I know maybe within our Muslim Ummah, we'll have somebody that has money more than them. But you see, it is packaging. It is being organized. It is being intentional about the things that they are doing. And that is what we are lacking as a Muslim Ummah. I know we have it. We can do it. But the thing is that we like the seclusion. Everybody, I'll do my own. That is what we are doing. And it's affecting us. And see, if you don't change our ways, and next year we will sit at the same forum and discuss the same things, ask the same questions, and nothing will be done if you don't change our ways. That's all I want to say.
It's our mission that is how. That is how can we, rewire African national development. And I just want to ask I'm just trying to bring a clarion call. There's a verse in the Quran that talks about our situation here. That is when Allah said, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا مِنْكُمْ وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ لَيَسْتَخْلِفَنَّهُمْ فِي الْأَرْضِ كَمَا اسْتَخْلَفَ الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ وَلَيُمَكِّنَنَّ لَهُمْ دِينُهُمُ الَّذِي ارْتَضَىٰ لَهُمْ وَلَيُبَدِّلَنَّهُمْ مِنْ بَعْدِ خَوْفِهِمْ أَمْنًا. So, I've written a white paper on this that she made mention of change. And I believe that we are here because of change, right? So being a transformational advisor, this is what I believe change can come, where the change can come, because it's already stated in the Quran. You find ourselves that someone made mention of mindset, and that is the deep-rooted problem of our society. But nobody talks about it. But I go beyond that and say it's not mindset, it's identity. How do we see ourselves? But you realize that most of our problem is survival identity. We have this survival-based identity, fear, Kishi, Ria, like we have that kind of problem that we envy each other. So because of that, we don't even have that supreme mindset to create. But our mission is to create conscious leaders, conscious creators, and conscious advisors. Imagine when we have 3 interdependent pillars, then we can ensure that we have a sovereign national development. And this is the clarion call we are calling everybody to embrace. And let's try as much as possible to see how do we change that identity from survival to sovereign.
Thank you. This is a contribution. Thank you. Let's take a lady here.
Assalamu alaikum. Okay, just to add to what Hajia, please, the last lady.
Hajia Zainab Issa.
Yes, Hajia Zainab Issa. She mentioned the Despite Group, East Legon billionaires. We are not ready for this conversation yet. In a society where we haramalize, if there is a word like that, everything, like you have a gathering of men and women, the next thing somebody will come online, TikTok, and say we are, I don't know.
10 for the camera, please.
Okay, so that is not why I'm here, but just to add. My name is Shukaya, and I am the CEO of Food Hub GH. At Food Hub, please, I wrote something down. So at Food Hub, we believe food isn't just about eating. It's about convenience, trust, and quality you can feel. We package essential food items in neat, ready-to-use portion and save people time, reduce waste, and make cooking stress-free. In a growing African market where reliability matters, my goal is simple: to make everyday food shopping easier, safer, and more enjoyable for every customer. That is why we have, this is purchased direct from the farms. We produce the best groundnut paste in Ghana, the best groundnut paste. Now, if you bear with me, We are in the season of hampers, giving. Instead of us buying chocolate, sugar, alcohol, things that people do not really need, why don't you contact Food Hub? Let's curate you hampers. Let's curate you hampers. CEOs are here. CEOs are here. Industry players are here. Talk to us. Let's curate you hampers. From sugar, gari, agushi, kokonte, granite paste, corn dough, cassava dough. We have them in different packages. From bronze, silver, platinum to anything. Please give thoughtful gifts. Gifts that people will really appreciate and ask you, how did you know I didn't have gari? How did you know I wanted kokonte? Please, I don't want any money from anybody. No, not black. Kokonte shouldn't be black. Unless you have issue with dehydrating. Yes, it's also not white. But my message here is simple. Our CEOs, our industry players, please, this is our own. This is your own. Anytime you want to give to your employee, your employer, your sister, your mom, any package, think Food Hub. Don't think any other thing. Don't walk into any supermarket. Just call us 0557 545 888. Thank you.
Swerving pioneer. Ghana. All right. So, Leila, let's take one from you, and please, let's do that. We beg you.
And I want to ask, what's the meaning of zakat? Even though in my reading, what I understand is helping poor ones or providing money to poor ones. In my community, I'm a nurse, lesson 2 clinic. Sorry, sir. Sometimes we do faces a lot of challenges, which is we have these poor ones come to our facility. Sometimes they don't have money, in need of help, emergency in labor, and we do go to our leaders, for example, our chiefs and those that we know they can help to help us. But sometimes when we go there, and my facility, sorry, I'm one of them in charge. So when they do come, you know, our, sorry to say, Christians, we be like, Mamina is so nabu, bebwom. So I'll be like, wow. So there's a mosque behind us, and we have at least leadership with that. So sometimes when I go for help, sir, sorry to say, I'm not expecting of what our leaders will say, but at least I do help what I can do. So my problem is, how can you help us, or how can you help some of our Zongo communities, those that they can't help? They don't have money in case of going to hospitals or in the facility, so that we see some of you in case of any help. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Put your hands together. All right, so we'll take one. Yeah, go ahead. Wa alaikum assalam.
My name is Osman.
Briefly.
Chief Osman Babaisa. Serki Wangarawan Wasu.
The last one, we are good to go. After him, one, 2, 3, we are good to go. We are not asking anything. We have done. We can't do more. To Mongodi. Yanzu mu je wurin Malam Garba, and then I want to meet babanmu mu je wurin Malam Garba.
My name is Abubakar Osman. I'm a content creator, a producer on lifestyle television at GBC. I'm also a development communicator. A person who wants to see the development of the community. First and foremost, I seriously commend the organizers of this program. It is a fantastic program that has been organized, or should I say that one of those that have ever attended. I see that we are underrating the resources that we have. Most of the contributors are not novices. They are seriously, deeply into what they are doing. What they really need to is that they need a kind of direction, or for them to find a skill to train themselves in what they are doing. So in this case, I think that presidents will use this opportunity to gather data of these people and see how best they can help them scale on the ladder of success, inshallah. And I want to wai akwai wata kungiya Istigon Miliyas or whatsoever. Muna da shi zama lafiya. Idan muka duba Zango, what they built Zango, let us remember the Trans-Saharan Caravan is what they built Zango. And when I want to talk about the introduction of Islam in Ghana, books have stated that Islam was a byproduct of trade activities. So where are we in this? Once we go back to where we were, in order for us to know where we are now, so that we'll know where we are going to go. My last comment, Matamu, kuna kokari ware gaske ina yawo shiga ware inda ban sani shiga ne da yawa. Idan kuma zan zango kashi 20 suna yi abin da mata ke haka kasuwanci zan ba kuke gaba. Mata suke da adashi wannan millionaire club na shi ke adashi da ake yi ba za a baki bane ki kwasa ki sai kayan sawa za a baki da shi haka kasuwanci. Wannan Legon millionaire club ne, there's no free lunch. Whoever is helped has something to give in return. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah for this opportunity. I'm Isham, coming from Wali Wali, Regional Islamic Secretary for Northeast Region and the Steering Committee Chairman for NMC. Actually, Islam has gotten to a stage that I have to borrow the words of the revered chief on the high table, that Iza Ja'a Nasrullah wal Fatuhu wa ra'aita an-nasa yadkhuluna fi dinillahi afwajan. These three things. We have gotten Nasru, Fatuhu, and wa ra'aita an-nas. These three things Muslims have reached those stages. But what is the problem now? The problem is to do with leadership. Leadership. The rep of the government and then the Zongo Development Fund, Rapier, they mentioned Soyeye Fund. Government can, government go. This Zongo Development Fund, actually it started somewhere and we're still with it, more than 8 or 10 years now. We have, every government has something to do with Zongo, but still we don't see changes. So sometimes I get to reorientate my mind to refer to it as an unemployment benefit, not really a starting capital for a business. Why do I say so? Honorable Mustafa will bear with me that if your Zongo or your Soye Fund comes, or if you're going to start or you launch it, definitely you deal with constituency chairman, DCE, but they are not here. They are not here. These are reps of what? Muslim communities. So I expect that now, in the past, we used not to have a strong Islamic force or leadership. But now, there is a group called NMC, National Muslim Conference of Ghana. It is backed by a legislative instrument. So I want to refer every government rep, if actually you are going to deal with Muslims or Zongo communities, please direct it to the leadership of Muslims in the country. They have rests in each and every region. They will get in touch with them. But when you say Soyoye Fund, for the benefit of the doubt, let's give the current government 8 years. The 8 years will come and pass, and no one will benefit from this. all is going to be unemployment benefit. They are going to give it to party people to sit down and chop, not actually people who have business mind. Notwithstanding that, I want to bring each and every person mind back to the word Zango. Actually, when we say Zango, for almost all the government that comes and go, concentrate in the southern part of the country. Whereas in actual facts, the Zongo actually started in northern part of the country. Each and every one of us here who is a Muslim has either a relative, a friend, or a family in the northern part of Ghana, which I represent as the Northern Islamic Regional Secretary. I want to speak on that. Sometimes we feel our brothers, our families in the south, when opportunities comes, they take it and neglect the northern part of the country. So on this note, I want to remind leadership of Zongo communities in southern part of the Ghana, when things of this sort come, please try to extend a helping hand to your brothers in the northern part of the country. This is what I have to share with you. Thank you so much.
Normally when we talk about entrepreneurship, as an engineer, I don't see us venturing into that space. Because I still can be an entrepreneur, but I'm a welder. As I started, I worked with one of the utility companies and the distribution of electricity. But I still do domestic work. And trust me, I think 3 years ago, ATTC wanted to train women, and the HOD said, Engineer, I want to train your Muslim girls. I need 10 girls. We offer them free training on welding. Then it's a Canadian subject, more of that. Then we give them the tools and equipment to set up. Me, I'm not from Accra. I live in Masai. I spoke to a few of the man that I think the ladies are behind, they said because they were not going to give me housekeeping money or something to write, they were not interested. So I feel that we need to inform, create awareness, we need to educate, and let us understand that I choose to agree. It is not for the grandparents. Engineering is not for grandparents because you read, you have to interpret machines. Sometimes you don't have the time to go and diagnose the machine, but you must solve it. Engineering was talking about.
He actually said I should announce to them that there is an app that is calling Muslims to embark on a gift. The Road of Hajj and Umrah. If you download the app and then
go to my other end. Even in the domestic violence, it's only me. Currently in Ghana, we have only 2 women who are certified inspectors if you want to buy your house. So one northern brother who is not a Muslim said, I've seen an opportunity must venture, but these are the skills that you need. We are actually not prepared, so let's be intentional and look at technical education.
Thank you so much. Quickly, let me chip this in. There is a brother who is the transformational advisor, said that there's a call for Muslims to embark or gift the reward of Hajj and Umrah. There's an app that you can download if you want to gift. It's endorsed by the Organization of Islamic Cooperation. So it is an app which is globally marketed by Lawar Company Limited. So you are encouraged to actually donate to that app.
Right,
I'm very sure that it's on Play Store and iOS.
Okay, so let's take the answers. Just final answer, and then we're good to go. And the chairperson will give us a closer look.
All right, thank you very much. I want to associate myself with our brother who spoke earlier. Regarding there are certain things we cannot say in public, but then some associations are built on tribes, some on ethnic beliefs, and some on religious matters as well.
Everybody might not be.
Let us look at that. But then, of course, from what we are seeing today from the Ghana Muslim Entrepreneurship Association or Business Summit, I think that this is a start of putting or bringing us together to be able to nurture as many businesses as possible or businessmen as possible. And also invite the successful businessmen, like I said in my earlier remarks, to a round table where we can also invite the young ones so that we can have something like a breakfast meeting or a lunch to be able to know ourselves and then go to our potentials. The other thing I want to say regarding my brother from NMC is that it is not true, or it's not always the case that the government will have to be dealing with NMC when it comes to its political social interventions. No. In fact, one of the things that we have done in this year, and I spearheaded it, is to make sure that the 200 scholarships to the Muslim community were given to the NMC. I spearheaded it. 200 scholarships were given to the NMC. But then there are certain things that will be done within the Muslim community, like building or construction of roads or building of schools. You don't need to come to NMC before you can do that. So let's get it straight. And there are people who we have supported, like I've mentioned in the past. Anybody who knows the personality of President Mahama, he likes to do more of the Ghanaian first. He likes to do more of the Ghanaian first, unless you don't come to his attention, irrespective of your political coloration. And that's why I mentioned the likes of our brother Selu Agongo, who knows his political color, or the likes of Elijah Adamu Global College, and so many people that we could mention. Once you have a business idea, one has a Maslow, and that is why the name Maslow came to be attached to me, Mustafa Maslow, was because with Dr. Mustafa Ahmed, the late, may so rest in peace, we had to put in, a kind of a vehicle together to move in, in our Zongo community, to identify the young ones who have the potential, to support them with the microcredits. And it's the more reason why His Excellency deliberately, when we did the manifesto, and in this room when he outlined his manifesto promises, he said that put in the manifesto a Soyeya fund, different from the National Women's Bank or different from the banking or Maslow whatsoever. And that Soyeya fund was specifically targeted to the Muslim Ummah. This is to go to help our own Muslim Ummah. And so when the Soyeya fund is launched, of course, NMC, all of us, we will have to be bringing and making sure, especially with this group, the Ghana Business Summit, to be able to get potential businessmen who have the ideas so that we can use them. It will not be under a political coloration, never at all. And so there are plans that we have for the Muslim Ummah, and inshallah, next year, or even before next year, I say before Ramadan or within Ramadan, can this group be supported to have what we call the breakfast meeting of only businessmen? And so you can call Elijah Mekwanda Boy, you can call Elijah Seydou. There are a number of them from the northern Ghana. Let's sit in this room with our ulama, our national chief imam and ulama, and let's identify the businessmen and reward them and tax them to expand so that we can be able to make sure that we employ as many people as possible. Oh yes, of course. That is why Professor Nana is there. She always will tell you that as much as possible, make sure that whatever you do, you put women at the forefront. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I believe we've spoken at length. And we'll take our closer remark from our chairman, His Excellency Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh.
I know we've been sitting for long. We are certainly tired and we are hungry. What has enabled us to remain sitting here for all this period without anybody getting bored stems from the fact that the program, the summit, we have identified it as a very useful exercise for the Muslim community. Having said this, therefore, we need to thank the organizers and to encourage them to do a lot more. I'm inclined to believe that the next summit may receive much greater patronage than we've today, inshallah. But let me remind my brethren that Rasul Kareem Muhammad Mustafa sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he sent out a caution to Muslims. What did he say? He said, "Kad al-fakru an yakuna kufran. Kad al-fakru an yakuna kufran." That poverty has the ability to turn a believer into a disbeliever. That is to tell you how dangerous poverty is. Poverty, therefore, is not something anybody should want to own. We will have to try our level best to get out of it. Secondly, my brother Dan Fodio, huh? Dan Fodio.
Dan Fodio.
Without the Osman, huh?
Garba
Dan Fodio. He drew attention to the trans-Saharan trade route. But let me come in here rather and say that this country called Ghana, at a certain point in time, Muslims held commanding heights in the economy, overall economy of this country, and I explain. Who were the known businessmen and women in gold trade in this country called Ghana, which used to be Gold Coast? They were Muslims. Salt. It were Muslims who got involved in salt trading. Cola nuts, surprisingly, where most of the northern groups have migrated from to come into Ghana here, we do not grow cola trees there. But it's the Muslims who patronize the cola business and have made cola an international commodity in demand. Banking. At a point in time, our Muslim brethren, in their own small ways, at the Zongos, Kaole, and many other places, were the leading bankers in their local way. Said that one could comfortably say at the point that if it comes to foreign exchange, talking of dollars and pounds, honestly speaking, at that time, Muslims had a lot more of it than this country called Ghana. So the question now is, what became of us, as my brother said? What has brought us down to this level, where we are not supposed to be? This is to say that we must be up and doing, we must be hard working. It is when we are hard working that we can really make the headway. But we must be prepared to assist each other. My brother mentioned the Yoruba woman. The Yorubas were very successful businessmen and women in Ghana. Why? Because they were supportive of each other. They were supportive of each other. Every Yoruba woman who has come and started a small team, in no time you find that another Yoruba woman has come and she has given a little capital, not in terms of the cash, but the commodities that she has. She's able to give some, also go and set up your table at that corner. And in so doing, they became well versed in business. But this is where we are today. Education. It is these very Zongo people, Muslims, who they do not only bring business into Ghana, but we also brought education into Ghana. Very many people are not aware of this. The fact is, it is the Hausa Muslims into Ghana and certainly in places like Kumasi, they started the first school. Literacy, as far as literacy is concerned, was started by the Zongo people in Kumasi. That is where Ghana can register its very first school, where people write. That is literature. So the question is, why? Why is it that we find ourselves where we are today? That is a big question, and it's the reason why I see this forum, this summit, as a wake-up call. We must go back to our roots. We must go back and ensure that we are in business and we control a large section of the economy of this country. Why is it necessary? Let us not forget that without our input, the Muslims, Ghana can never get to where we want to get to. Because Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran that kuntum khayra ummah ukhrijat lin-nas, that you are the best people who have been raised for the service of mankind. To say that Muslims are trailblazers, corruption in our country very high. It becomes the duty of each and every Muslim individual and we collectively to know that if we Muslims put our act together, corruption will become a thing of the past in this country. If we cooperate with and collaborate with each other in business, just as our forebears did in the past, and made them very well to do. Look, you go to Kumasi, the main central Kumasi, most of the big buildings there belong to Zongo men and women. We will build Zongo men and women, big houses there, but we don't see the need to live in them. We give it out on rent and still go back to our Zongo to stay. It's not that they didn't have the money. They were very, very experienced businessmen and women. And that is what we should try our level best to be doing so. It is not in the interest of anybody to say, no, as for me, I'm a poor man. There is nothing like a poor man or woman. Each and every one can make it. If we get involved in the business of the economy of this country seriously, as our forebears used to do, we'll be able to salvage the economy of this country. Our forebears made use of the natural resources that God gave to Ghana. They tapped into those resources, made the best out of it, and became very rich. Look, Muslims were not poor people in Ghana. It's now that poverty is raising its ugly head among us. Because even, like I said, even with gold, go to the gold mines. Who mined the gold? Who mined the gold in our gold mines there? They were Muslims. The refining gold was first introduced into this country long before the colonialists came. And traders from Timbuktu, or far ahead of Timbuktu, traveled down to Ghana, the southern part of Ghana here, to buy that gold and export it. And in its place, they brought many other things to us. So, and so on and so forth. So, where did we go wrong? Having said this, I want to end here and plead with the organizers not to give up. They have done a very big service to the Ummah. And we should therefore keep up. And for we who have attended, When somebody is doing good, you need to give him all the needed encouragement to be able to move on. These young men and women have shown the way. The least they expected of us, for instance, today was at least to attend, just as we have attended. This certainly has given them the encouragement, and I believe they will be interested in organizing other fora from time to time, which will be in the interest of all of us. Therefore, attending to these invitations, one important thing we must take into consideration is time. Arriving on time, not at the tail end of the function. It is when you arrive on time that you are able to get all what has been presented. I would therefore want to plead, because that is one of the diseases of the Muslim community. Time. You not be time conscious at all. I thank our chiefs on my own behalf. I thank all the speakers who made presentations here and there. I thank all those who asked questions. I also thank all those who gave the various answers here and there. And pray each and every one of us that next time we are invited to a forum like this, let us make it a religious duty. I'm saying a religious duty to attend in our numbers. That will be the start of we identifying, going back and picking from where we went wrong. All what we did is to draw attention to the fact that we went wrong somewhere. We were asleep. But this forum has served us as a wake-up call. Let us therefore hearken to it. And inshallah, the condition of the Muslim in Ghana will improve. It is bound to improve.
Thank you so much to our Honorable Chairman, and Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh is the Amir and missionary in charge of the Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission in Ghana. Now, just so you know, those of you who use the platform to advertise, the organizers will send you your invoice. Anyway, so a special thank you going out to our partners, Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Investment Promotion Center. We also have Zango Development Fund, Blue Skies, Vena, NDA, Trillium Ghana, Our Sales Service Limited. We have Afro Arab, Amin, and also SIC FSL. We have Zono Pharma Limited, Razor Catering, Life is Tech Africa, SML Limited, the Northern Bazaar, Kenzie Fashion Institute, and Ahmadiyya Muslim Mission. Media partners, we have Pan-African TV, Hafiz TV, GBC, Al-Nur, Baraka FM, Ikra Radio. We have Marhaba Media Limited, Alpha Radio, Zango TV, and Vibetown Media. We are live also on Facebook via Vibetown Media. And I would like to invite Nura Mohammed to give us the vote of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. Our eminences, honorable guests, esteemed speakers, distinguished partners, dedicated colleagues, chiefs, queens, and all our wonderful participants. As this historic and inspiring day draws to a close, it is my privilege to stand before you and express our profound gratitude. On behalf of the Institute of Peace and Progress, an event of this significance is not a work of just a few people, but the honorable and beautiful culmination of collective effort. And it is each of you here that we offer our sincere thanks. To our esteemed chairman, His Eminence Maulvi Mohammed bin Saleh, our distinguished speakers, Nana Yadom Boache, CEO of Our Sale Limited, Mr. Ismail Adams, the representative of the First Deputy Bank of Ghana, Mr. Abdulrazak Kehlani, CEO of Greenshield Limited, Mr. Hafiz, representative of the Insurance Commissioner, Abubakar Mustafa Maslok, Deputy CEO of the Tema Oil Refinery, to our beautiful and esteemed MCs, our chiefs and queens, we say thank you. We are deeply indebted. Thank you for gracing us with your wisdom, your vision, insights, and for challenging us to think bigger and better. You have illuminated our path forward. To our dedicated entrepreneurs, participants, and business leaders, the heart of this gathering, thank you. Your engaging presence, thoughtful questions, and active participation have truly brought this summit to life and shown that the vibrance and potential of our community is here. A special note of appreciation must go to our unstoppable organizing committee, volunteers, and support staff. Your meticulous planning, long hours, and dedication behind the scenes have been the backbone of this seamless experience. Please join me in giving them a well-deserved round of applause. We also extend our deepest gratitude to our sponsors and partners. Your belief in our mission and your generous support provided the essential foundation that made today possible. Your partnership is invaluable. To every single person here, thank you for your time and energy. We began with the Holy Quran, and we close with a revered scene of purpose. We pray that the connection made and the knowledge shared here will continue to resonate and bear fruit long after we leave this venue. We wish you all a safe journey back home and look forward to building on the momentum we've created today, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khairan for being part of this historic beginning. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.
Hafiz TV, unique every day.